like this angle. It doesn't show my double chin.
That was done strategically for me, too.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah, man.
All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cardboard Treasures. We are live from the Harley Race Wrestling Arena in Troy, Missouri, and it is my pleasure to introduce three-time WWE World Tag Team Champion and graduate of the Harley Race Wrestling Academy, Trevor Murdoch.
Thank you for having me here, man. I'm super excited. I've never been a part of doing one of these or being a part of this, so this is super cool. Not to mention being my first time. I don't get too many firsts in the business anymore, so this will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've seen a few other case breaks. This is 2017 Topps Legends of WWE, and I've seen some individual case breaks, some smaller case breaks. This is a 3-case break. We're doing random hit format, so this should be a lot of fun. And we are going to have spots available on the website. This isn't really a time-sensitive thing, so we're going to do the break. We are going to cut off sales by the end of the break. So when the last pack is opened, no more spots are available, and any unfilled spots just get thrown into the random. So we're going to get this started here in just a minute, and looks like we've already got 10 live viewers, so
awesome.
Yeah, and give me just a second here. People are still asking to join the collectors group on Facebook and stuff like that, so I want to make sure everybody does find the video. And
it's kind of being a part of a live event, man. It's just
that's right.
Go with the flow, brother.
Yeah, this isn't going to be quite as it's not going to be quite as smooth as a lot of them. We're just going to do it. So
yeah, I like just doing it.
Yep, call it in the ring.
Yeah, call it in the ring.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to get this started now. Usually with the Cardboard Treasures breaks, those of you that have joined the breaks before are probably used to me showing every card. We are doing 3 cases, and we're going to have a lot of hits. So we'll go through the first box, kind of make sure we take a look at every card. But the base set is only 100 cards. And so we're not going to go through and show the cards slowly every time. We'll go through them a little more fast than what I usually would do. But we're going to have some time, probably a little Q&A with Trevor, and let Trevor share some stories about some of the legends that we're pulling the cards for. And card number 42 is Harley Race. And thank you to Harley, thank you to Leland Race and World League Wrestling for letting us use the Harley Race Wrestling Arena for this. This should be a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and get this going, guys. Good luck. And again, if you don't have a spot or you want to get more spots, you can go to cardboardtreasures.com. There's still plenty of spots left, but once we open that last pack, we're cutting it off completely. So don't want people jumping in after the break is over with. So here we go. Good luck, everybody. This is random hit format. So all the autos, all the relics, and the serial numbered cards and base cards will be bunched together. So the autos and relics, each of those equals 1 hit, but we're doing all the base cards as one spot, and we're doing all the serial numbered non-auto, non-relic cards as one spot. So guys, I've seen, yeah, if you can grab some, that's awesome. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is exciting, man. Not knowing what's going to happen, what's going to come. You get this every time?
It's I have a blast with this. I know a lot of people are, and guys, I know the lighting's a little bit weird. Trevor and I, neither of us are really going to win any beauty contest anyway. So
I'm really tan, but it just doesn't show well in this light.
Yeah,
and the time I spend at Florida on the beach on a daily basis.
And I'm going to put my phone right here so you can follow along on the chat.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, guys, let's get this going. Good luck, everybody. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Please feel free to join in on the chat. Now, we do keep things family friendly, so please keep that in mind. No profanity, no trolling, anything like that. We will take care of that immediately. So
probably more for my benefit than it is your guys', to be honest with you.
All right, so let's get this going. I did watch a few of these breaks on YouTube and saw some good stuff pulled, so hopefully we get some good stuff tonight.
I want to say hello to Cody. I see you out there. Bill, I want to say Bill Cobb, say hi. Pat Turner, I want to say hello to you as well. We see you guys.
All right, here we go, guys. Bobby the Brain Heenan starting us off. Alundra Blaze. Tatsumi Fujinami, that is WWE Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Wow.
and Nikolai Volkov, and Papa Shango. Now, some of these cards are a little bit tough. I noticed the other breakers were having a hard time picking out the numbered parallels. So that will be just a little bit slow until I get used to which one's which.
Nick, how you doing? Thanks for coming.
Hey, our friend Daniel Flynn's watching. What's up, Daniel? Elizabeth. Legendary bouts. Sting Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance. There's Ric Flair, Nature Boy. And there's the man, Harley Race.
HR.
2 packs in. And Lex Luger.
With Herman. Michael Kreese. Who did I ever work with Herman at all? I'm not exactly sure who Herman is.
Ric Flair's numbered 9 of 99. So that'll be our first numbered card. Again, all numbered parallels are going to one spot. All base cards are going to one spot.
Heenan.
Oh.
No, I never got to work with Heenan. He was one of those guys that when I came into the WWE, I wanted to work with him, but he was kind of doing his own thing, and I never got a chance to be on the same show. I missed out. He was one of the few guys I wish I could have worked with. At the very least, hung out with.
There you go, Ric Flair, 9 of 99.
That's awesome.
All right, next up, Jim Neidhart. And our first autograph is Sting.
Dang.
That is numbered 137 of 199. Awesome. That is an excellent way to get started here tonight. There we go. On-card autographs. Now, the only autographs that I saw that were not on-card were the ones that have the little belt, commemorative belts. Everything else that I've seen has been on-card. There are cut autos of Macho Man, Kerry Von Erich, Brian Pillman. And looks like you got a couple questions there, Trevor, so I'll shut up.
I do. Oh, no, don't. No, that's all right. I'll jump in. I got one. Cody Sanders is asking, how do I get into wrestling? Well, currently we're at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. That's the best place to start. You get a chance, go online. Harley's got a website. You can talk to his son, Leland Race, and he'll get you started on the path of what you need to do to become, a pro wrestler. Who else?
41 of 50 on that Sherry. And guys, I'm just going to be kind of butting in just a little bit, and Trevor could just keep right on going.
Please do. Let me see. I got Pat Turner asked, what's my best Lance Cade memory? One time we got arrested in Belfast, Ireland, and the reason why it's my best Lance Cade memory is because I was in the middle of a bunch of people, and I was about to get beat up. No fault of my own, but he actually came in from behind and actually knocked over a couple guys. It's really a story that we should probably do on a different website because we can't go into too many details here. But Lance was always a good guy. Always cared about me, cared about what was going on in the ring. He was dedicated to pro wrestling. I miss him every day. And what is that?
That's Kevin Nash, Legends,
wow.
38 of 299.
What's my thoughts on Eric Bischoff? Wrestling genius.
Yep.
What else we got here, man?
Let's see, we got Stevie Ray, the Warlord.
Oh, wow.
Mick Foley, and Rob Van Dam.
There's another. How many spots sold for this?
Right now we're at about half the spots, so still plenty of spots available.
Jump in.
And guys, this was an ambitious thing. I mean, this is the first time we've ever done a wrestling break. I've only been breaking for like 5 or 6 months now, so my name's not out there as much as possible, but that's just my style, man. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to jump in with both feet. If we're going to do wrestling, we're going to start it off big. 3 cases from the Harley Race Academy with Trevor Murdoch.
Right on. And what a lot of people don't know, and Matt doesn't tell you, is that Matt actually used to be a professional wrestler. Him and I were the first 2 students at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. So he's kind of kayfabing everybody, being modest and not letting everybody know. Matt and I have a history. We go back almost 20 years, don't we, Matt?
Yeah, 99.
99? Yeah, 99 is when Harley started, you and I.
Yep.
In a 2-bedroom house, living with 6 other people, and you and I sleeping on the living room floor, making $4.75 an hour doing landscape.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we've got a 1-of-1 printing plate coming up. And it is Tatanka, 1 of 1 autograph printing plate.
He's a super nice guy. Actually, he did on his last run. I was there and got to talk to him, and he really went out of his way to talk to Lance and I and give us tips and help us out. And he's one of those guys that are from my childhood. I don't know about you, Matt, but it was just super cool to be in the same locker room with him.
I've never met him. There are a lot of guys that kind of, if they came through the indies, if we were on the same shows or whatever, then I would have interacted with them. But I never really went to any fan fest or anything like that. I guess I was a kid like before all the fan fest and internet started.
Well, the one thing is we got lucky with WLW is Harley always brought names in that weren't currently working with WWE or another big company, and we got to wrestle those guys. I remember a specific match where you got to wrestle Disco Inferno for, I think, almost a whole week.
Yeah, five matches and 3 nights.
Yes. So.
Yeah. All that. What's up, Pete? There's Ricky Steamboat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And guys, this is like doing the break and having this light on and stuff like that. It can get pretty hot. It's a little bit chilly in the building itself. So that's why my hands are shaking a little bit.
Well, and he's sitting next to me, so he gets
right.
a little, starstruck. It happens. Speaking of Steamboat, he had a big influence, I know, on me and I know on Matt.
Yeah.
He's actually the guy when I was doing wrestling for Harley, I was going in as Trevor Rhodes, and when I went to WWE, he's the one that actually said maybe I should become Murdoch, because at the time, Dusty had some heat with Vince. What do we got here?
Here's 38 of 99 JBL. And look at that belt replica.
That's awesome.
That is the WWE Championship replica JBL. So that'd be a cool one for somebody.
Pat Turner looking to try to push us a little bit. Good for him. He's let him know about another site we can be a part of.
Yeah. Excuse me for just a second.
Yes, sir. Got a little chilly.
Oh, man. Freezing. Hands are
Craig X said, Trevor, I saw you back in the late 90s wrestle outside when Bill Goldberg signed stuff for people in front of J.C. Penney's in Farmington, Missouri. When you wrestled as Trevor Rhodes, I believe my sister, Leslie Eck, and Marianne Eck both went to Fredericktown School. You are absolutely correct. I do know both of them. And you are correct. I was wrestling back in the 90s, if anybody wants to date me now. My age, huh? That was a Frank Reed show. Yes, it was a Frank Reed show. It's actually I've never seen anything like that with JBL.
Yeah.
Those
are cool.
He was a guy that actually brought back being a heel. There wasn't a lot of heels when he turned into, he started doing the heel shtick and started going for world champion. He was able to take a redneck and go out there and make people angry.
And guys, we only get a few of the comments at a time, like on the screen. So if anybody has a question that doesn't get answered, we're probably not ignoring you. It's probably just already scrolled through. There's Flair, Sensational Sherry, Legendary Bouts.
Wow.
Bret Hart and British Bulldog. Trish. Didn't you sing to her?
I sang to her, and actually I helped her come up with one of her signature moves.
Did you?
I did, actually. You know the gimmick she does where the guy sits in the corner and she does the handstand on their opponent and pulls them out? Well, of course, just like anything else in pro wrestling, I saw an indie guy do this move where he just did a handstand and did the whirly bird with his opponent, and I said something to her. We practiced it, and sure enough, she put it in every match she did after that. So that's my claim to fame with Trish Stratus.
Yeah. There's Virgil, 3 of 99. He might charge us royalties for saying his name during the break.
Are we sure he's not even here? He might be here signing autographs. It's horrible. I'm going to go to hell for that. I apologize.
There you go, Virgil. All right. We're going to do one more pack, and then we will... Actually, I'll probably kick it over to Trevor for a minute so I can update our hit list.
Ooh, Haku.
Hey, well, we both got some Haku stories. Please, you go for it.
After we go through this set, I've got a couple Haku stories.
Kevin Nash, Sid Vicious, Sergeant Slaughter, and Terry Taylor.
Look at that. No, I've got several stories about Haku. He's one of those guys that, as a wrestler, as a person, you're just scared of him. just naturally as a human being. But he couldn't be farther from his character. He's a super nice guy, great wrestler, easy guy to work with. But one of the evenings that Harley brought in, he brought in Haku for one of our shows. Haku was wrestling a guy named Mr. Destiny, Jay Hanna. And Matt's laughing because he remembers what happened that evening. But when Haku went out to wrestle, it was standing room only. All the guys from the locker room come out to watch the match. They wanted to see it, be a part of it. And we're watching, and out of nowhere, and I'm not going to cuss or anything, out of nowhere, Haku stops right in the middle of what he's doing in the ring, in his match, and says, "Shut the F up!" And his hand reaches back, and he slaps his opponent, in the face, open hand. And you hear this. And as a wrestler, you watched it, and you said, "Holy crap, he just knocked the crap out of him." But as a guy who's smart to the business, you knew something was wrong. And you knew that whatever Mr. Destiny had done at the time, he done bad. And proceeded to beat the crap out of him the rest of the match, finish the match, come in the back, and proceeded to yell and scream at him. And we're talking, I've only been in the business maybe, 4 years at the time, and only been with Harley maybe a year. And we're all in the back, just mouth shut, hands behind. Oh, we're not even going to get in his way. Haku was mad, throwing stuff. That's not a guy you want to make angry.
I remember I was the guy that went out and got Harley.
He's about to beat up Jay. Wasn't he?
I didn't want to see anybody die that night.
He was close. Michael Kreese asked Trevor, who was tougher in their prime, Haku or Harley? And I'm going to let you know that Harley is the toughest guy. I don't care. He's the man. And Haku would tell you that Harley was the man. If I remember correctly, when Haku broke into the business, he actually used to help carry Harley. He was like, he took care of Harley. Harley was he was Harley's young boy, carried his bags around, and that's what kind of helped get him into the business.
So I remember a young, rosy-cheeked Trevor Rhodes winning his first WLW championship from Haku. What were you, 21?
I was 21 years old. Well, and what's funny, we talk about the story. We just talked about the story about Mr. Destiny. A month later, Harley calls me into his office, and he goes, "Trevor, I'm gonna have you work Haku at the next show." And I'm trying to be a man and look at Harley and just, it's great, yeah. But walking out of his office, scared out of my mind, knowing what I just saw 4 weeks before that.
All right, we got an awesome one coming here. Bret, the Hitman Hart, 6 of 199.
Are you kidding me?
On card auto.
The hit, and it's signed. That's awesome. Somebody's going to get lucky tonight.
There you go. Congrats, whoever gets that.
Hey, we got 36 viewers currently, Matt.
Look at that.
We're moving up in the world. 37, 38. I'm digging the numbers, folks. Oh,
On
36 now. Whoever left, you suck. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
We'll assume they got booted.
Matt's never going to have me on this program again.
Bulldog, Taker, and Bulldog. One of these, I think, should be numbered. Nope, guess not. Thank you.
Nick Hesley asked, any thoughts on Kamal? I heard he's in rough shape. I did hear he was in rough shape, but I also heard that he's on the mend. Actually, he's starting to do well and do. That's wrestling rumors. You take it for what you want, but I heard he's starting to turn around a little bit. And did I just see Doug Broden chime in?
Doug Broden, what's up, man? What's up, Skip?
Hey, buddy. Good. Hadn't seen you in a while. Miss you too, pal.
Oh, look at this one. Iron Sheik.
Is that part of his gear? Like
part of his shirt.
Oh, wow.
235 of 299. Iron Sheik.
I wish I could do his impression, but I can't cuss on this program. That's all that man does.
Yeah. He's the Lisa Lampanelli of wrestling, too. Like, that guy can say anything. He is the most politically incorrect person in the world, and he doesn't have to apologize for a thing.
Everybody's like, it's just Sheiky. It's just Sheiky. Todd Avery Morgan asked, what about CM Punk? Matt and I both had interactions with CM Punk, and he's nothing but professional, super nice guy. He's, actually I have a lot of respect for him because it takes a set of cojones to walk away from the number one company in the world, especially as world champ. So I got a lot of respect for him.
So we are going to keep this PG, but at the same time, CM Punk is not a drinker, and I've heard several incarnations of this story. So I'll go ahead and clear the air on it. We were all out after a show, and Punk was with us, and he's not a drinker. He's just not going to drink. I just heard on a podcast not too long ago. Hey guys, if you're hitting the reactions, please make sure you don't hit it like 20 times, because a lot of people are watching this on their phone. And so it blocks part of the screen so people can't see the cards. But anyways, so we're all out, and nice. Here. Precious Paul Ellering,
wow.
112 of 199.
Manager of the Road Warriors, and actually a pretty accomplished singles wrestler. A lot of people don't know. I just watched something on him the other day, NWA.
So we're all out having drinks, and we're taking turns getting rounds of shots. And I went and got a round of milk for everybody and said it was from Punk.
Right.
And that story has been twisted and turned and told so many different ways, but that's how that happened. Awesome guy, though. I always liked him a lot. His trainer, Ace Steele's great friend of ours.
Phenomenal guy. But now you're missing out a part of that story. Isn't the one of the 3 times Harley Races ever puked was that night?
No, I think that was a different show.
Was that a different show?
Punk had just got a new car, and I think Harley went to the show in Wisconsin or something.
Oh my goodness.
He's not here, is he?
No, he's not. Oh God. I see Larry Hargrove. Well, you know, buddy,
what's
good
up,
to
Larry?
see you.
And
what we got?
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh.
That is 11 of 99.
I have a story about him. When I first met Harley, he had World League Wrestling.
Legion.
World Legion Wrestling, World Legion Wrestling. And we were doing shows in Springfield, Missouri. And I got hooked up with Bill Ash to get onto the show, and they were putting the card together. And we're standing in Motel 6, and Gordon Soley and Harley Race are sitting at a table in the little foyer area with a fifth of vodka in between both of them. And Harley's putting the card together. So then there's 12 or 13 guys standing along the wall, just being quiet, being respectful, don't want to make anybody angry. And Harley looks up from doing his card, and he looks up and down, and he sees me, and he points at me, and he asks me, he goes, "Kid, do you got a license?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Tomorrow you're going to work Greg the Hammer Valentine." And I was super excited. First name I've ever got a chance to wrestle. I've only been in the business maybe 3 years. Hadn't even been trained by Harley yet. I'd been just working for a small independent in St. Louis, CSWA. And anyway, I went and had the match, and that man beat the snot out of me, Matt. I'm talking, sat me down on my chin, sat me down on my knees, leaned my chin back, and started driving forearms into my chest. And I loved every minute of it.
David, actually, I heard that on the Pritchard podcast. I listened to that. That's actually what I do to pass the time when I'm sorting cards. I put on Conrad and Bruce and just listen to the stories. It has made sorting so much easier. But anyways, no, that's how that story went down. He didn't take a shot with Harley unless it was at a different time. But that night, we did the milk thing as a rib, and it got turned around somehow. I do know that Punk fractured his skull in a match when we were indie guys, and he fractured his skull in a match with Reckless Youth, and wouldn't take anything. I mean, nothing at all for the pain. He was in so much pain it was physically making him sick. Wouldn't take anything. DiBiase, Road Dogg, Neidhart, Trish, and Sid. Were you on the World Legion shows with Sid? Actually,
I was going to work. I went to go work. Was booked for another show, and he was on that card for World Legion that night in Quincy, Illinois, right? Quincy?
Quincy was a huge one, but I think he was in maybe Springfield too or something.
And a lot of people don't know the guy that was riding the shows with him, learning from him, was a young Kevin Fertig, who happened to turn out to be
Kevin Thorne, right?
Kevin Thorne, that's right.
All right.
Bill Cobb, we'll talk to you later, buddy.
Hey, take care.
Pat Turner, do you ever wrestle in Michigan? Actually, I've retired from wrestling. I do autograph sessions, training seminars, and personal appearances, but right now I'm not wrestling anymore.
So let's talk about this match for a minute. Legendary bouts, Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, we're talking about, the match of the century. Maybe it could be match of lifetime. How many pin attempts were in that match, Matt? 30.
Too many.
Okay, over 30 plus pin attempts.
All right, I'm going to go heel mode.
Okay.
That wasn't the best match on the card.
That
was the third best match on the card that night.
All right, what was the first two?
That was the Can-Am Connection versus Bob Orton and Don Morocco.
Okay, what's the number?
Clinic and Tag Team Wrestling. Hogan and Andre. That one moment. People remember that.
Well, that was WrestleMania 3, right?
Yeah. There's Foley and Van Dam. And another, this is 27 of 99, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh.
And that is with the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to call that one the WCW Championship.
That's the second belt we've seen tonight, right? JBL.
Yeah, JBL was first.
Yeah.
Very nice. I know Travis has some spots in this, and he's hoping to get a Bret Hart auto. So, guys, if you're just joining in, I'm going to finish up this box, and then I'm going to shut up for just a minute so I can update the list. This is random hit format, so the hits are the autos, the relics, and then there's one spot for all of the base cards, and there's one spot for all of the numbered parallels, which is like the Ric Flair that's serial numbered to 99. So anyway, we do have spots available on Harley Race, or not HarleyRace.com, on CardboardTreasures.com, and we will allow purchases of the spots until the last pack is open. This is not everything right here. We have 3 cases. We're on case number 1.
Trevor, Chad Jackson. So Trevor, do you still work with Dangerous D? I'm assuming you're talking about Dangerous Derek. No, him and I. It's not that we have any bad feelings or anything, but we're not working. He lives in Kansas City. I live in Eldon, and he's got some great things going on. Actually, I miss Derek. We might be working on a show here in the future. So, yeah, Dangerous Derek's a great guy. What we got here?
Damn. There's your boy Booker T. 140 of 199, Legends Auto.
I got to wrestle him in TNA.
I was going to say, let's talk about the I Quit match. Did he know what you were going to say about Charmel?
No, had no clue. And that was just me having fun and me trying to just pop him. When I was in TNA, I got kind of thrown into matches that didn't have a meaning. I think I was just the right guy to go in there and make these guys look good and get their story over. But yeah, when I said that, he cracked a little bit, and not to mention Charmel cracked a little bit if you watch the tape. But the one thing I popped for it was Jim Cornette was actually working in the back at the time, and apparently from what I was told, he started jumping around screaming, going, look at that boy, he's getting over on his back. And I thought, that says a lot. Anybody in the wrestling community, they'll know what I'm talking about when I say, if you can get over while you're on your back, you're doing something pretty amazing in this business. Oh, Pat Turner, any truth to the JTG story? There's no truth to his story, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. I'll tell you exactly what happened. It's amazing, those guys. I'm just not even going to get into it, but we will. I'm going to talk about it in this segment here shortly. You guys stay tuned, because that's something I want to get to.
I'll tell you what, I've got 5 more packs, and then I've got to update the list, so that'd be a good opportunity, I think.
Okay. Oh, another Booker T card. Yep. Ooh, Jericho and HBK.
Elizabeth.
The
Berserker. And the Rock. And guys, we might miss some numbered parallels during the actual live break. But I will go through these to make sure that we don't miss any before we ship.
Oh,
and how about another Bret Hart autograph?
Wow.
This one is numbered 49 of 50. That is our 3rd Bret Hart auto.
Is that Craig Wilkerson? Johnny Jett is watching. Well, hello, Johnny Jett.
What's up, Johnny Jett? All-American.
Talk about a guy who can chop. He'll sling the sweat.
There's Fit Finley.
Michael Kreese asks, hey, Matt, on their product list, is there a Ted DiBiase $1 million belt card?
I don't think so. That would be awesome. I doubt it because it would probably be kind of costly to produce that for just one person.
It would be super awesome, though.
The Goon, wasn't that Wild Bill Irwin?
Yes.
I liked him a lot more with the bullwhip. Dory Funk.
Oh, wow. Old school there. Bruce Bulldog.
Bruno.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Actually was on a lot of shows with that guy, too. Got to work with him. I've never met somebody who will give you so much and go, I know how to get myself over, kid. Just let me do this and do this. Super nice guy, down to earth. You couldn't ask for a nicer guy.
And speaking of Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, there you go.
197 of 199. Look at that auto, too. It's funny, like, if you look at some of the guys, the quality of their autos, and not just in wrestling, but in football, baseball, anything, they're not always the nicest looking. A lot of times it doesn't look like you take a lot of pride in having a nice looking auto, but that's a nice one.
I will stand up for the guys on this aspect because I've been there before, man. Sometimes we get set these cards, especially if it's one of 99 or they get sat in front of you 10 minutes before you got to go out and do something. So most of the guys, they've got to sign them quick and get them out. Is that one of the small ones?
12 of 50. So that's actually cool. You know what? I've never thought. I've wondered a lot about autographs. I've never thought to ask you about them.
Yeah, it's I know a lot of Topps cards when I signed them have signed autographs. I would see John Cena walk by his table, and Matt, I'm not joking. He would have 5 or 6 stacks. I'm talking 3-foot tall stacks of autographs that he would have to sign before he even did anything else. And that was on every Monday at TV. I don't know what he had to do at house shows, but
yeah,
I mean that guy earned his money. I don't care what anybody says. And he's, you know what? I love to hate that guy because he's actually a super great guy. He's worked hard. He deserves everything he has. He's taken so much criticism from so many people and still persisted and continued to be the same person. And he's genuinely a good person. That's why I love to hate him, because I'm just so super jealous of what a good dude he is.
I've got to update the list, so probably a good time for the JT how about the JTPG story?
Well, I will. JTG and Shad Gaspar have went out on several occasions and talked about the incident that happened with us backstage. And their version is the fact that we went in there. We were actually in cahoots with the referee, and we went in there and we beat them. We took advantage of them, and then when we got in the back, apparently they were chastised from, I don't know, half the locker room. The story goes, and this is exactly what happened. We were working with Crime Time. We actually, we looked forward to working with those guys because character-wise, they were completely different from us. They were horrible wrestlers, but we could work with that. And so each night we're going in the ring and we're working with them, and we're trying to help them get better and try different things because we know that Vince is trying to push them and elevate them. In our off time, Lance goes to Sean's school, I go to Harley's school. Lance and I are on the phone while we're in Harley's school talking about different moves and doing different things. And we would ask Crime Time what they did if they went down to OVW, which was where they were living at, and they had all that access to all those talented wrestlers down there. If they were going in there training, trying to get better, getting better for the house shows to get better for TV. And every week, every time we asked them, it was a different story. So one night, before we go out, we'd ask them, we'd sit down and talk with them, and JTG was too busy doing his hair, and Shad Gaspar was doing I don't remember exactly what he was doing, but he was too busy to sit down and talk about the match. And Lance looked directly at him and said, "That's fine, boys, we'll call it out in the ring. We can you?" And I know I'm breaking kayfabe here, and I may get people mad at me, but it is what it is. So we went out there, and Lance and I were professionals, and we went out there and we called the match, and we made those guys look like $1 million, and we did the spot where if anybody's recognized in my career in WWE, Lance and I would do a spot where We'd shoot our opponent off. Lance would pick our opponent up and drive him down for the inverted atomic drop. While he's doing that, I'm hitting the ropes and hitting a high boot. It's a great looking spot. It's extremely aggressive, painful at times. And normally JTG takes the boot and rolls out to the floor and does a 10 count and climbs in the ring and gets that emotional yay. Well, this time JTG decided he was going to stay out of the ring longer, and the referee got to 8, got to 9, got to 10, which is the 10 count, and rolled in under the ring. Wait a minute, I got to stop for a minute. Is that a Lex Luger?
Lex Luger to 199.
Wow.
On card auto.
Talk about a stud in his heyday.
Yeah. People like to bash him.
Yeah,
Guy was amazing.
Yeah, he was. Looked great. Had a great gimmick. But anyway, with JTG, he didn't roll back in the ring on time. And at the time, Vince was on all the referees to make sure that everything was legit. If his shoulders were down at 3, you counted 1, 2, 3. If they were out after longer than the count should be, then they're counted out. And that's exactly what happened. He was counted out. The referee raised our hands. Lance and I look over, and Lance has no clue. Lance is standing on the outside because he was tagged out. And the referee dings the bell, has him ring the bell, and Lance looks over at me and goes, "What just happened?" And I raise my hands up and I go, "We just won." And we started laughing. Now, here's the backstory. What a lot of people don't know is Lance and I were the World Tag Team Champions. We were going to win anyway. We would have preferred to have won with our finishing move like we were supposed to. Why would we, if we were going to win, why would we want to win with anything other than our high-low, which is extremely aggressive, looks mean, and is a fantastic tag team spot. Secondly, as we're getting out of the ring, those two are angry. They're mad, and they're looking. Well, hold on a minute.
299, 200 of 299 Sting.
And that's part of his. Is that part of his gear?
Yeah, I think that's part of his tights.
Wow.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, and then so as we're standing outside the ring as the champions, Crime Time looks at us, looks at the referee, realizes that if they got a problem, they're more than welcome to step up. So they decide to turn on the referee, pick up the referee, and hit their finishing move on the referee, which happens to be a Samoan drop spin. Well, the referee puts his hand out because he's untrained as a wrestler and almost breaks his arm. Well, Lance and I walk into the back, and we turn around. As soon as we walk through the curtains, we turn around and we wait for him. We come through the curtains. Shad Gaspar starts screaming and yelling that we are in cahoots with the referee, saying that we cheated because he heard me tell the referee to count faster to JTG while he was outside the ring. Well, guys, I'm going to let you know something. In the wrestling world, as a heel, as the bad guy, I'm going to tell the referee to count faster. Now, being the referee, he's not going to count faster.
Hold on, you're the champion and you're okay with your opponent getting counted out and you keeping the belt?
Oh, not at all. And not to mention, it's my job as the heel to tell the referee to count faster. But that was his argument on why he felt that we were in cahoots with the referee. Wait a minute, now we're going to pause here real quick. Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash, 28 of 50.
Now, this is when he's Diesel, though, right? This isn't NWA Nash.
It's got Kevin Nash, and he signed it Kevin Nash, but he's wearing the Diesel gear. So that's interesting. Anyway, go ahead.
So as they come through the curtains and they're yelling and screaming, Barry Windham grabs both of them and takes them into the closet and proceeds to chew their backsides. I got to watch it PG. And tells them exactly what they did wrong, that they need to apologize. Well, they walk out of that closet and they start cussing at the referee, blaming the referee. John Cena, who happens to be the world champ at the time, goes, "You need to apologize to the referee." Shad Gaspar decides to tell John Cena what he thinks and where he can go. Now, just to give anybody insight who's not in the wrestling business, you don't go up to the world champion, the breadwinner, the guy that sold out over Hulk Hogan every building on merchandise, is the number one guy in wrestling. You don't tell him where he can go. You don't tell him to F off. And because of that, as everybody could see, they were released the next day. Now, if we were in cahoots, if Cade Murdoch was in the wrong, don't you think we would have got fired? No. But these guys want to go out to every website and talk about a dead man that can't defend himself. What do we got here?
The Big Show. This is 6 of 25. Relic Auto. And that is, just says Legends of WWE Autograph Relic. 6 of 25. That'd be a cool hit for somebody.
Let's see here. What do we got here? Craig Eck, serious question. How do you feel about the Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega in Japan? I know you had a successful career in Japan, so you think this is going to make New Japan blow up and become a viable opponent to WWE? I think they're already a viable opponent to WWE, to be absolutely honest with you. And the crossover between New Japan and WWE is good for everybody, good for the fans, good for wrestlers. This is an exciting time in pro wrestling. And it's hard to get excited about anything that's on the TV nowadays.
Can be, yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a great thing. I heard JTG got a lot of heat due to Shad. Ha ha ha. In your experience, Trevor, was JTG easier to work with than Shad, or were they equal? JTG was a lot easier to work with than Shad, because JTG actually would make an effort to try to come up with moves that fit his character and his gimmick, and try to actually adjust himself to become a better wrestler. Well, we got to back that up real quick, though, Matt Murphy. Oh, look at that. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Terry Taylor. The Rooster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry Taylor snubbed me for an autograph.
Wait a minute.
The first stupid.
And Bull Schmidt is watching. Wayne Johnson. Bull Schmidt is watching. Oh, yeah. It's like Wayne, or Bull Schmidt, my boy. Partner in crime. It's like I'm in the room with you guys. Awesome. Thank you, Bull. I'm glad to see you, buddy. I'm glad for you to see me.
So, I do have a quick funny story about Bull Schmidt.
Please. We love Bull Schmidt.
Speaking of sharing a room with him, I hid from the Japanese mafia in his room one night.
Oh, I remember this story.
Long story, it's not PG. I can't get there in a PG manner, but just know that he was nice enough to.
Right? There was a language barrier.
Yes, there was a language barrier. There was a miscommunication, and Bull let me hide in his room overnight. Slept on his floor. I don't think I slept probably 5 minutes, but it was good times. Thanks for joining in, Bull.
Pat Turner, did I read any of JTG's book? No, I won't give him the effort of the time, let alone my money.
All right, I'm going to update this.
Let's see here. I got plenty to talk about here. Christina, I can't pronounce your name, so I'm not even going to attempt to disrespect you. But are you still doing the Wrestling Academy? I haven't seen you since Eldon. No, the Kansas City Pro Wrestling Training Center is closed down. We had a financial backer that actually took off with a ton of our money, and it pretty much bankrupted us. So that's eventually, it's not open anymore. It's sad, but I also got to work with a lot of young guys and that were hungry, and they had moved on to another company in Kansas City, so it's good for them. It's good for everybody, actually. Let's see here. Michael Roughneck. I don't know how to pronounce your name, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I want the Big Show, as he went to Wichita State and played for basketball here. I don't know how that works out, man.
Oh, cool. Well, hey, man, jump on cardboardtreasures.com. This is random hit style, so definitely can't guarantee anything. But when I did post this originally, I was going off the information that was available on cardboardconnection.com and on the distributor's website, just the information that Topps had released. It said 2 autographs per box plus 2 autographs and or relics. What I'm seeing here is 1 autograph per mini box guaranteed. It looks like this is 3 autographs per box, 2 on card, and then 1 relic auto or belt auto. So it looks like only maybe 1/4 of the spots are going to end up getting just relics. About 3/4 will get autos, and then 1 spot will get all of the numbered parallels, and 1 spot will get all of the base cards.
Matt Stockdale says, have you seen any of NWL? I've seen a little bit of their stuff. I haven't watched a bunch of it. I've been real busy here lately, trying to start up my own business and stuff, so I really have an opportunity, but I hear they're doing well, and I wish them good luck.
Chris Goff's involved in it, so anything Chris touches is
gold.
Definitely going to have professionalism at least attached to it, and some amazing creativity.
Yeah, good reps.
good refs,
they
too.
have great refs. Great refs.
That's true. Big thanks to Mike for helping us out here tonight.
Appreciate that, Mike. You know who you are, buddy.
All right, Bret, Foley, legendary bouts. Undertaker and Triple H, no holds barred.
Another Virgil.
Virgil and Stevie Ray. All right.
I see we've got 30 people watching, but I ain't got 30 people talking to me. I gotta have people
right?
talking to me. I need the interaction.
There's Boss Man.
Who we got here? What do we got here?
Shawn Michaels autograph.
HBK.
178 of 199. All right, so let's hear about Shawn. I know that Lance trained with him.
Yes.
And Shawn was already well established as one of the greatest wrestlers in the history of the business at this point in time. So I guess let's hear about your early interactions with Shawn. I know that he ended up becoming a big influence and a big supporter of yours.
Well, then in the beginning, Shawn opened up himself to me and Lance to come talk to him about the business, our frustration, and it got to be a point that we were just going to him quite a bit, and he ended up riding with us for the longest time. Nobody expected Shawn Michaels, Hall of Famer, to be riding with old Trevor Murdoch, Lance Cade, so he could kind of be inconspicuous to a certain extent. But he actually really went out of his way. He's the one that spoke up to give us the program to wrestle with DX. I'm going to pause for a minute.
There's your boy Brian.
Speaking of DX, Road Dogg Jesse James right there. Super nice guy there, too. Spent some time with him in TNA. Super nice guy. I know a ton of stuff I can talk about with him, too. But with HBK, he just really went out of his way to try to guide Lance and I in the right spot and give us heads up. When Lance passed away, I'm pretty sure he paid for the funeral. He invited my wife and my kids down, paid for everything, hotels, so we could go to the funeral. I just can't say enough good things about that man. Still to this day, I could call him and talk to him as if it was, I hadn't seen him, or if I just seen him yesterday. So.
And it's funny too because with a guy like Shawn, for a lot of us that didn't have that kind of interaction with him, he seems like somebody that would be very hard to approach.
Very unapproachable. Yes, and seeing his character and stuff. But just like anybody else in our gimmicks, Matt, you've been around. We're not who we are actually on WWE when we wrestle. And especially now, I got blessed with the fact that I caught him after. I'm going to pause for a moment.
This one's low numbered, 15 of 25.
Wow.
Lex Luger.
I caught HBK when he was finding the Lord, and he had a lot of his troubles behind him. So he was just extremely helpful with Lance and I, and constantly gave us advice. And he's the one that spoke up to give us that DX program, so we can get some more recognition and kind of get ourselves out there. We had a hardcore match with him, with Shawn, with HBK and Triple H, and it was funny. I remember actually messing up the beginning spot. Shawn does this gimmick where you shoot him off, you duck an elbow, and he does a flying forearm and hits you in the face with it, and you take the bump. Well, for some reason, that's what he called, and as I see Shawn flying in the air, I had a brain fart, and I dropped down for a backdrop, and Shawn flew over me. Proceeded to potato me and let me know to wake up. DDP.
8 of 50 relic auto. DDP.
I totally recommend DDP yoga if you guys are looking for an exercise routine that can help you with your your flexibility and health. Check out DDP yoga. Bull Schmidt, look, it's like Christmas. Excited for the next auto.
Guys, I do have to make a comment about this. This Berserker is going to be numbered to 50, 21 of 50 on the Berserker. The autos that we're getting here, if you look at the checklist, we are getting such an exceptional variety of autos here. I saw one, and nothing against Norman Smiley at all, but I saw one that had like 5 or 6 Norman Smiley autos. Look at this. Kevin Nash, Lex Luger, Big Show, Brett,
Paul
Ellering, Valentine, Booker T, Duggan, JBL, Tatanka 1-of-1 printing plate auto, DDP, Lex, and Sean. So, guys, this has been so far ahead of anything that I've seen as far as our first case goes. We have 3 boxes left in case number 1. We will pick up the pace just a little bit for boxes or for cases 2 and 3.
I do want to say hello to Melissa. She's been a long-time WLW fan, her and her mom and dad. So I want to say hello to you, Melissa, and appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching.
Oh, hey, Melissa. Melissa, didn't you have customized plates? WLW fan plates? Was that Melissa?
Yeah, I think so.
Had us over to the house?
Yes.
Her and her family?
Yep. And guys, you have to understand, as wrestlers, when you have fans, it's great to have fans, but it's even better to have fans that actually care about you. And these folks have brought us into their home to eat meals for holidays, been to many of the shows to support us throughout the years. And actually, I'd probably consider them our number 1 fans, to be honest with you. And I'm so glad she's here. So hello, Melissa. Good to see you, sweetheart.
And when people would invite us into their houses, a lot of times it would, like, we get done with the show, we just want to go home, kind of be reluctant about it. Not one time did somebody invite us over after WLW shows where I ever regretted it. Like, no, it was a good time every time. The fans were so nice and accommodating.
WLW back then, too, when you and I were wrestling full-time, wrestling was really in a hot phase. And Harley was just really back fresh to the wrestling scene again. He'd kind of taken a step back for a while. And that time period, that 10-year time period, Matt, was just a phenomenal time to be a wrestler and to be wrestling for Harley and just all in all to be a part of wrestling.
Well, let's not forget the level of talent that was out there at the time, too.
Oh, my goodness.
The guy that was a head trainer at Harley's school at the time, Derek Stone, phenomenal, so detailed.
Both of us.
Yeah. But then just the guys that were on the indie scene. I mean, you had Daniels, AJ Styles, Modest and Morgan.
Yep.
Punk. A lot of guys that are stars now or that became stars over the last 5-10 years. They were grinding out on the indies back then. And
what we got here?
There you go.
Oh,
this
Albert.
10 of 99. Albert.
The current head trainer of the WWE Performance Center right now. Not to mention super over in Japan. He was actually the beginning, I believe, of like the original Bullet Club. Like him and who's Gallows' partner right now?
Oh, Anderson.
Carl Anderson. Him and Carl Anderson were IWGP Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jason Allen. Hey, Trevor, my son and I had a pleasure of meeting you and Lance at a house show in Illinois. You guys were so nice to my son. He's 15 now and still remembers that day. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. It's nice to just be able to spend some time with family members and friends and fans. And thank you. Let's see here. Jason Franken. I saw ACO versus Kenta in Eldon, Missouri. That was a fun match. That was the other thing, too, about WLW back in, is a lot of those young guys came through WLW, CM Punk.
Sorry, guys, 22 of 50.
Oh,
Jim Hamble Neidhart with your tag belt there. That's the same one that you had.
That's the exact same one I had.
So go ahead.
Oh, no. Harley would bring these, hot independent stars that were coming through, and we got to wrestle with them, interact with them at our own show. And now we call him, what's Kenta's name now?
Hideo Itami.
I can't pronounce it.
Got his first career victory over this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good for him or bad for me.
But he still remembers you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Took him 2 years. Took him 2 years to find somebody that he could beat. 57 of 99 on Kevin Von Erich. Go ahead with Eddie.
Just as the passing, the anniversary of his passing was just recent.
Yeah, that's true. I remember you calling me and telling me about that.
Yeah, that was an emotional moment too. I was just with WWE, maybe been there 6-7 months, and I walk into TV, and there's just a real somber, like everybody's got a real somber aura about them, and Vince calls everybody into the arena and sits us down, the whole roster. Production, everybody, and proceeds to tell us that Eddie had passed away and that they were going to do some tribute shows. And there was people crying, and just a lot of emotions there. And for a green guy with the company, I just tried to sit back and stay out of the way and do whatever I could to help. Because he was so volatile to the company and so important to so many people and had influenced so many wrestlers.
That's a good question.
Do the title holders in WWE get replicas of the belt to keep? No, they don't. Unless you're part of the handful of guys like the Orton, Cena, Taker. I didn't get. I got to take it with me on the road, but I never got to actually bring one home and have one at home with me right now. So no.
You get along with Hardy?
Do I get along with Hardy? Matt or Jeff?
Matt.
Yeah, I get along with both of them.
I want to ask you about that one then.
Okay, please, yeah.
Yeah. We'll save that one.
Yeah, let's save that one. Pat Turner, ever been to Wrestler's Court? No. I've never been to Wrestler's Court. Now, the closest I've been to Wrestler's Court was next to this guy that I'm sitting next to now, and I'll explain it to you. He may even kind of forget it. At the time when we were wrestling for WLW, I was dating this girl that was clearly toxic for me, but everybody else could see it except myself. So after the shows, as soon as I got done wrestling, I would hop in my car and I would drive back home because I didn't trust said female. So when Matt would ride with me, this poor guy here didn't get a chance to stop and eat anywhere. He had to get gas station food because that's the only way I would stop is if I needed fuel. Well, after about a couple months of this, Matt just stopped riding with me. And I'm not really sure why. After about a month, I finally hit him up. And I go, Matt, why aren't you riding with me? He goes, Trevor, you want me to be honest with you? And I said, yeah. He goes, because I want to eat. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, after the show, man, you just want to rush back. And like, we don't get a chance to eat. We don't get a chance to hang out with anybody. We don't get a chance to do anything. And he goes, I want to have some fun and relax. And I couldn't fault him for that. He was in the right. So that's the only time I've ever been to Wrestler's Court.
Sid Vicious, 187 of 199. We when we started with Harley's Wrestling School and started with WLW, we were both 20. I think Trevor turned 21 just before the first World League show. Yes. And so we did a lot of just the mistakes that you make when you're a college kid or whatever. We made all of our mistakes like with Harley watching over our shoulders. So we had a lot of good times, but man, we messed up a lot.
Well, one time we were out drinking, I think one time at a certain establishment that has ladies slightly unclothed. And we were with Harley, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is that when I got arrested?
Two alcohol and tobacco, whatever guys came in pretending to be customers and ended up IDing Matt. And Matt was like a month away from being 21. Yeah. And ended up getting arrested. We shouldn't have ever. What was the name of that place we were at?
I don't remember, but I do remember that we were sitting at a table. We were sitting at a table. And it's the mayor and the city administrator, and we're like 3 miles outside of the city limits. So they couldn't do much for me. Here we go. Tully 235 of 299.
Member of the Four Horsemen.
Did he come around the locker room very much?
He was actually an agent for a short time. And I got to talk to him a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to have him agent my matches. And the reason is because Tully's an old school guy, and he believes wrestling should be a certain way, and it should be a certain way. And when you're working with an entertainment company, wrestling and entertainment sometimes doesn't mix well. And he ended up exiting stage right because he felt wrestlers should wrestle a certain way, and the company felt they should wrestle a different way. But to sidebar, I agreed with everything he was saying. If you and I, Matt, would have been born in the 70s or 80s, we'd have been world champions by now.
Well,
that's what Harley always told us. That we were born in the wrong time when it came to pro wrestling.
I don't think I would have ever had a match. They would have.
Oh,
I was small enough that at the time, believe it or not, I was struggling to get to 200 pounds.
Whatever. He was jacked. He was a pretty boy. All the girls. See, Matt was. If you guys have ever been to an independent show and you've seen the young kid that's got like the college look and all the little girls are going nuts. No, Matt Murphy. That was this guy here. Now, don't let him fool you. He was the BJ always used to say he's the one that gets all the girls, which didn't help my confidence at all. But we'll move on.
This is why you don't marry for looks, ladies.
Yeah,
this is
right.
called time right here. Time and bad diet.
I have my beautiful wife say yes when I had money, so joke's on her too. Let's see here. What's the angriest, Matt McGlasson? What's the angriest you ever saw Harley? I'm trying to remember a time like he actually exploded. Like, Matt, do you remember of any times like when like Harley just like blew up and was angry? And
I remember him about breaking your leg one time because you thought you were going to test him.
oh well, see now.
Christmas party?
It wasn't a
No,
Christmas
no,
party. It
it was
was just a
training.
regular training session. You guys laugh, you know, but you
That
guys.
was Steve Fender, Superstar Steve, Christmas party.
Yes. Harley, every once in a while when we were training, would get in the ring with us. He'd work on punches, drop a knee, elbow. I think I even seen him suplex a guy in training once. And so one day we're in there, and of course I'm young, full of vigor. Well, I can't use the word I want to because it's PG, but, you know, I think basically my crap don't stink. And Harley rolls into the ring. Well, I start to amateur wrestle with Harley a little bit. And if you know Harley and seen him when, you know, Harley, a little bit as he got older, a little bit bigger belly. So and he's a little older, so you think that, you know, you can take him. So I've got Harley. I've got him in a front face lock, and he's just sitting there slowly moving my arms around. So I shoot behind him, got him in a waist lock. He goes to sit on his butt. Well, I go to wrap my legs around his waist thinking, I've got you. My legs are the strongest thing on my body. And if you guys have ever wrapped your legs around somebody and squeezed, you know what kind of pressure that is. So I've got Harley and I'm squeezing. I got you. And I made the mistake of calling him an old man. And I got you, old man. And slowly but surely, Harley took his legs and put them Indian-style cross-legged over my ankles and proceeded to lean back and stretch me out and basically take my ankles and bend them down into a 90-degree angle. And I start screaming. And the whole time, Harley's going, "Now who's the old man, kid?" And I proceeded to say he wasn't and that he was the king. And I tapped out immediately because he got me. And I'm not your friend anymore for bringing that story up, Matt.
Well, I remember he was so patient. That was the one thing that amazed me. He had somebody trying to beat him in a wrestling match. He was just playing it cool. He was just
Possum. He's the best at playing possum.
It was like 2 inches at a time, setting himself up into the perfect spot to hook you. Simmons, Typhoon, Rock, Papa Shango, Wendy Richter. All right. Any other questions coming up here?
I'm looking.
You still watch wrestling?
Do I still watch wrestling? I do sometimes. I actually record it and then fast forward through what I don't enjoy. What do we got here, Matt?
Sean, 9 of 50.
Wow,
Shawn Michaels.
That's number 2 we've got in this box, right? Or in this set, right?
Guys, this is my first wrestling break I've ever done. For those of you who don't know, I now have a company called Cardboard Treasures. I do group breaks, so mostly baseball and football. But with all the interaction and stuff like that, I think that we might have to do some more wrestling. I think this is a good time, and
I know I'm having a blast.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up here and doing this. And
Not to mention
again, Harley Race.
Awesome cards.
But yeah, usually when we do case breaks with baseball or football, you kind of have to swim through a little bit of the sludge to get to the good stuff. You might have 10 autos in a case, and nothing against that stuff by any means. I love doing this stuff. But if you get 10 autos in a case of baseball or football, you might get 2, 3 really good autos, and then the rest are like kind of lower end. This stuff here, I mean, I know that this is Legends, but we're hitting, I mean, Michaels, Bret, Sting. This stuff has been loaded so far.
Is that Magnum TA?
Magnum TA.
Wow.
Jericho.
I've got an autographed picture of him telling me, it says on the autographed picture that I'm his favorite country music singer. But then it says, P.S. I don't know any other country music singer. No, Jericho. Jericho. Yes, that's the autograph he put on my picture. God love him. What we got here?
Relic, the Big Show.
Oh, wow. That's number 2 there. That's the second one.
60 of 299.
Did you catch the Flair? Dave Watson, did you catch the Flair 30 for 30? Who do you think wrestlers in the business look up to more, Flair or Harley? I did watch the 30 for 30, and currently they look up to Flair more than they do Harley right now, because I think he's still current. Nothing against Harley, but Flair's still out there and still in the scene, whereas Harley's taken a step back and stepped out of the limelight a little bit more. So I think they look more up to Flair because they know who he is and he's around. Tiffany Clark, this is cool. I think this is pretty cool. Thank you for showing up, Tiffany. Trevor, can I get an auto, please, with my picks? Shameless Mark moment. It's out of my hands there, stud.
I think we can hook you up. I'm just not sure what to have
he
signed.
wants an autograph. He wants an autograph of his picks. Yeah, I think we can work out something. That, definitely. Sorry.
Boss man. Oh, man.
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, my wife's favorite. 42 of 99. And, guys, if you're not familiar with this, if you haven't seen all the pictures that are hyping this, there's actually a chance at getting a triple autograph of Dude Love, Mankind, and Cactus Jack. And that would be amazing to pull.
To have all 3?
Yeah. So
that would be awesome.
To me, that's one of the biggest autos in the set, other than the one-of-one cut autos. But there's also a chance at getting a Triple H Stephanie McMahon dual auto, as well as they have I think a couple different variations of Undertaker autographs. Ask for a spit bottle.
I really don't think it's going to be what you think it is. So let's just go ahead and move on to a different subject. I see the wife. The wife is watching that. Hello, Miss Murphy. Wifey.
So I'm sure it's probably as entertaining as kind of halfway never was, and a former WWE superstar.
Don't let him be modest.
Is cool as that would be, or as cool as that is to do, I think it would be every bit as entertaining to have like a couple of wrestler wives just talk about, because wrestling is such a different business. Like, there are times you can talk about stuff and times you can't, and times that you just kind of sit back and times you go in the other room, and
as a wife, they have to deal with a lot of that.
Hey, Travis, real quickly, Travis told me that he was hoping to get a Bret Hart auto. Well, Travis, there is a good chance of that tonight, because so far we've got one that's to 50. There's a Bret auto to 199 and another Bret with the belt to 99. So we're up to 3 Bret autos so far, Travis. Just wanted to throw that in there real fast.
Hey, Travis, how you doing, buddy? See David J. Mick Foley helped me propose to my wife. I got into contact with him on Twitter, and he made me and Mr. Socko and placed the engagement ring in the sock. So when he put the sock on her hand, boom. The ring went on her finger. Foley is truly a great, genuinely nice person. Yes, he is. And he's a stud for doing that for you. What we got here? Ooh,
113
IRS.
of 199.
I got to work with him actually a lot too. He was an agent. Extremely quiet individual, but really knowledgeable. I don't think IRS quite got his due when it comes to wrestling business, when it comes to knowledge and how long he's been around and what he's actually done for the business. That guy is super nice and super knowledgeable and helped me out a lot of my matches. Not to mention, he's Bray Wyatt's dad, and when you've got a guy as creative as Bray Wyatt, you know he had to come from good stock.
Yeah, Bray, gosh, that guy is incredible. He's the first time I ever saw one of his vignettes hyping his debut. I immediately, because having worked in the business, you kind of go through phases where you're really excited about it, and then you're kind of tired of it. You just kind of want to distance yourself. I caught Bray Wyatt's vignette, his very first one, and immediately got excited about the business. I was just.
Well, he commands your attention, so and he's different. That's the cool thing about wrestling. At least that when I was younger, everybody was different. Everybody was different. There was something for everybody. You could watch the wrestling program, and if you didn't like this match that was going on, you might like the next one.
Yeah.
Whereas today, it doesn't seem to be as too many characters or different people. IRS, David J. IRS should be in the Hall of Fame. Mike is a true legend. I totally agree with you. Michael Kreese, what did you think of Rotunda's varsity club run?
Loved it.
I agree with Matt Murphy. I had a lot of fun. He was the quintessential butthole, to be honest with you, I thought. And the thing is with great heels, a great heel can make you hate him, but also, and I place Harley Race in this, he can make you hate him, but also in the same turn, you can't beat him. Those are the worst guys. If you guys remember in school, if you ever got picked on or got bullied on, the worst guys were the guys that would bully you or pick on you, and there was nothing you could do about it. Legitimately, IRS is one of those guys. Harley's one of those guys. Let's see here. Jason Deckard, what do you think of Arn Anderson? Are you kidding me? That guy's... He's a genius. He's still, to this day, the lead agent at the company that every main event helps those guys put their matches together. We had to wrestle the Highlanders, and Lance and I were really confused on what we were going to do with the Highlanders. We weren't for sure how to wrestle them, how to get them over as well as get ourselves over. And he is the only person other than Harley Race that can make me feel the stupidest with the simplest of answers. Lance and I, we just get done watching, we're at the premiere of Stone Cold's movie, it was the first one, Condemned. And we sit down next to Arn in the theater and we go, hey Arn, we're about to wrestle. I'm going to pause for a minute.
Kevin Nash.
Another song, I signed autograph Kevin Nash. That's 2, right?
Yeah, 146 of, it's 2 or 3, 146 of 199.
Sat down and we asked Arn, Arn, we got to wrestle the Highlanders. They're, 2 Scots. I think, they were Scottish. They weren't kilts, and they were good guys, but they were smaller guys, and Lance and I were bigger, and we weren't quite sure what to do with them. And Arn looks at us, and he pulls his glasses down, and he goes, boys, if I was you, I'd wrestle them like the sheep herders, the bushwhackers. And just like that, obviously, in that voice. And and as soon as he said that, Lance and I looked at each other and was like, okay, now this makes sense. Now we know what to do with these guys. And as soon as he put it into perspective like that for us, we were able to go do our job effectively and go out there and create magic in the ring with those guys. So I've got nothing but love for the man. Kevin Jordan, oh my God, where have you been? Kevin Jordan, hey Trevor and Leland. Kevin Jordan, Trevor, are you back in WLW?
Oh man,
I'll never leave in WLW. But
look at that.
Is that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
That is. That's 201 of 299.
Wow.
Shirt relic. That is the. I saw one of these at WrestleMania down in Dallas a couple years ago. I guess last year when they were in Dallas.
Yeah.
That's the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat manufactured shirt. So that's a piece of that, numbered to 299.
What a lot of you guys may not know either is when they do these little, the little slivers of their gear and their shirts, they'll actually make the guys put the shirt on at least once.
So it's actually worn.
Yeah, so it's actually been worn. I myself, when I had to do a couple of these, wore 4 or 5 shirts that I had never put on. They walked up to me, put this on, take this off, put this on, take this off, put this on, take this off. So do know that when you do get the card and it's got a piece of their gear or their shirt, that it's actually been worn, been used at one point or another.
Now, the good thing is, in wrestling, it's not like baseball where if you're buying their jersey, they've got like an Under Armour shirt underneath it. Now, in wrestling, you probably don't want the ring worn stuff. Like, I actually wore this sock, during. I'm good.
I'm sure it's washed. I'm sure
right.
it's clean. There you go. That's number 2 we've seen. Umaga. Got to spend some time with him. He was another super talented guy, and a scary one nonetheless. When he got mad sometimes, you just stayed out of his way. I remember one time, for some reason, he got upset with me about something, and I got kind of cocky back to him, and he just straight out told me what he was going to do to me, and I sat back down. There's a time in your life where, everybody wants to meet a tough. Everybody thinks they're a tough guy until they meet one. Well, I was a tough guy until I met him. So what we got here?
DDP.
Wow.
95 of 99. Now this one is on a sticker. That's interesting. Did they ever have you sign any of these sticker sheets?
I did. It would be literally a big sheet of nothing but those signed those little squares there, and I'd have to sign it, and sign it, and sign it. Which those were pretty easy. It's when you get to the cards and then you get into the promo pictures. They're so big you got to lift them up, sign them, lift them up, sign them.
That beefcake is 78 of 99.
Got 34 people watching. Tremendous.
This is good. This is more than twice what I've ever had watching one of my breaks.
Really?
Yeah, and this is wrestling, so a lot of the people that join my breaks regularly aren't really. Yep. Look at this. We're drawing here. Dory.
We're drawing.
It's funny that they have Dory Funk Jr., which of course is his name, but he was Hoss Funk when he was this character.
Is that another Virgil?
Yep.
Virgil getting a lot of airtime tonight. Probably more than what he would at an autograph session. I didn't say that, did I?
X-Pac, the Goon, and 99 of 99, Chris Jericho. That is with the Undisputed Championship. Again, 99 of 99.
Kevin Jordan, stick with wrestling, not singing. Everybody's an internet tough guy. Have your boots framed. Mike Harold. Yeah, he's got my original first pair of boots. He bought my original first pair of boots, and they were in horrible condition. Like I almost felt bad selling them to him. They're in horrible condition. But he's like, yeah, I'll take them. I love them. They're awesome. I'm not gonna lie though, Mike. I had a small fear that you were walking around your house in your underwear in them at first. I'm just saying, buddy. Oh, my wife is now watching.
There we go, Jessica and Amanda.
Yeah, both of our wives are watching. So, yes, baby, this is where I'm at. I love you, miss you. Your hair looks beautiful. That's because Matt and Cardboard Treasures, best breakers in the business. Travis, I can't pronounce your last name. Sprude. Pat Turner, any Eric Young stories from TNA?
It's true.
I got to wrestle with him actually. Lance and I were going when we originally both were released from WWE. TNA contacted us for a tag team tournament. Lance at the time was going back and forth for 01, a Japanese company, and it just so happened when they called us, Lance was going to 01, and I wasn't at the time. I was wrestling for Noah. So I ended up going to TNA by myself, and they still put me in the tag tournament. They tagged me with Eric Young. You talk about an extremely creative guy and just a good dude. Just a good-hearted person, funny, extremely creative. Will do anything for you in the ring. I just 100% good dude. Both the wives, one's laughing at us and the other one's got their eyes rolled up at us. That's their emojis. So I love you. Pat Turner, he's great. Cody Sanders, y'all better behave.
We've heard that many times before.
Yes. Kevin Jordan, you know the autographs I like is the ones you can read and not initial. I agree. Yep.
Yeah, as great as Jericho is,
it would be super awesome to be able to read his autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I guarantee you he probably had 1,000 of those sat in front of him.
Yep.
And was like, well, you got to wrestle in 20 minutes. And he had to sign him and turn him. Jason Franken, what was your favorite wrestling championship belt of all time? Oh. I like, if I remember correctly, wasn't it the old WWF belt that had the big globe on the front of it? Am I right, Matt?
Yeah.
That was my favorite belt. I always liked the fact that if you were world champion, you needed to have something that displayed you being the world champion. So I was always a big fan of that title. And I was also a big fan of the NWA title. If you look on the sides of the NWA World Heavyweight title, it has the plates are from different states, which looking at the picture here, if you can see ahead, you can see Harley's belt, and it's got Canada up top, and it's got Australia on the bottom. To me, that's the sign of a world title.
Sorry, I haven't had my arm in your way for a second.
See, Michael Creed, you're fine. Michael, any non-wrestling celebrities you met while in WWE? Any related stories? Okay, now I've got one that I've got a bunch I can talk. Like one time I got to meet Toby Keith while he was in the back, and he asked me if I wanted a beer, and I said of course, and he pulled one out of his pocket. So I thought that was pretty cool. There was also a WrestleMania where, man, I don't know if I can tell this story.
Snoop.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these cards.
No.
Man, what a first case! Outstanding first case.
I've got to tell the story, Matt, because I've already. Michael Crease, it's all your fault. So Snoop Dogg is at WrestleMania, and he's got a trailer in the back. And I'm already done wrestled and done my part for Mania. And of course, I want to meet him. Who doesn't want to meet Snoop Dogg? And I go up to the door, and as I go up to the door, Rey Mysterio and Santino are walking out, and they're high-fiving me, going, "Yeah, you need to go in there and meet Snoop." So I walk in the door, and what blew my mind was Snoop knew my name. He goes, "Murdoch, what's going on, man?" And I'm going, "Snoop Dogg, what's up, buddy?" And we sat in there, and we talked for about 30 minutes. And it got a little cloudy in there, but I got to hang out with, he had his pimp there that was in full regalia with the pimp cup and the hat and everything. And I walked out of his trailer with a big smile, hanging out with Snoop Dogg. You could put two and two together. Who wouldn't pass up that one moment, though, with Snoop Dogg? Matt, I hope don't get mad at me. I'm not trying to get anybody mad, angry, in trouble, offend anybody.
No, let's talk about Larry Zbyszko, though. All right, so
what do we got here? Brock Lesnar is super hot right now. Let's see here. Jessica Murphy. Let's see that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon autograph card.
Yes.
This case, yes.
I would love to pull one. Hey guys, that first case, man, that was incredible. That really, really was incredible. And starting us off, Alundra Blaze.
Wow.
Appropriate transition there. Alundra Blaze, one of 199.
If you don't know who Alundra Blaze is, Medusa.
Yes.
WCW, correct?
Yeah. Medusa. Legit tough lady, too.
Does she drive a monster truck now?
She does drive a monster truck. And from what I've seen, from what I hear, she's pretty good. Like, right. She's really good, actually. I'm kind of understating it a little bit. Pete
Flair.
Akers is watching. I've seen you.
Flair, 40 of 50. What's up, Petey Fantastic?
I guess Kevin Jordan said, she retired from Monster Truck. Obviously, I didn't know Kevin, Mr. Smart Guy. Got to put it out there for everybody. If I'm talking about it. My goodness.
She's,
private message a fella.
All right. Here we go. Steamboat Simmons and Kevin Nash. This one is 27 of 99.
That's awesome. And Bull, I caught your message there.
Oh, Bull.
It inspired, my Snoop story has inspired him, which that's not the goal here. Move on to a different subject. Let's see here. Another Eddie Guerrero.
Sit next to the biggest square.
Well, HR, wait a minute. We just missed a Harley Race. Look at
Harley.
that. HR Harley Race. I remember one time I called Harley as Harley, and he was not happy about it because Harley, I need to speak to Harley Race, and of course, Harley's. This is Harley Race. Who the F is this? And I'd go, this is Harley. And he got a little upset about that. The night that I got signed, actually, was an entertaining phone call. I got my job with WWE. Johnny Ace offered me a developmental deal. So I call Harley, and we're in a van. There's like 8 guys, and we're all in a van.
Tatanka to 50.
Right there. Oh, sorry. No. I'm just actually sorry. I was staring at him. Tonka's one of my favorites.
Guys, one thing to keep in mind, we weren't like college athletes that were recruited into the business.
No.
We were big wrestling dorks as kids that went on to become
Older
wrestlers.
wrestling dorks.
Yeah.
Wrestlers.
But wrestlers always worry about like acting like fans. If you're not a fan of the business, it's a weird business, it's a tough business. If you're not like stupid in love with the business, you have no business getting into it.
Yep. Well, I remember back in the day when we were younger, it was, you didn't go to the names and ask them for autographs because you didn't want people to think that you were a mark or bugging them or anything like that. But nowadays, now I get pictures with everybody I can because I want to be able to cherish the moment.
Yep.
Cody Sanders, what did you think about the Boogeyman? I think he's an awesome dude. The character was a little hard to wrestle, I think. A little hard to wrestle when it comes to storylines. But, again, it was something different that caught your eye when you were watching wrestling.
61 of 99. Booker T belt auto.
Man, it's like the 5th or 6th belt we got tonight.
Yeah. I think it's about one every box is either going to be a cloth relic with an auto or one of these belt replica.
Why didn't they have this when I was a kid? Like, they didn't have belts with trading cards in it. I still got old trading cards, and the ends are all messed up, and the color's half gone. But that's something that's going to last for years. Years.
4 autos in that one.
Kevin Jordan, thank you for everything, Trevor. No problem, brother. Thank you for watching. Let's see here. David J. I guess I'm going to go for it. McCutcheon.
Yep, I agree.
You can count on one hand the top guy. Top guys who made it really big in the business without a true love of it. I think being passionate about the business is huge to being successful in it.
Yep.
100%. Spot on. What's your favorite match of all time? Well, one of them. I mean, I don't have a particular. I'm a fan of it all, so I don't have like one particular match. Like that's just the one. But the Macho Man Steamboat. That. I mean, when it comes to wrestling epitome, if you're a wrestler starting in this business, you need to watch that match approximately 20 to 30,000 times. Mm-hmm. And then once you get done watching it, then I would try to actually become a wrestler.
I'm going to throw in mine real fast.
Please.
Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. Unparalleled storytelling. That was so amazing. For its time, there hadn't been anything like that.
I wish I could have been in the locker room though when they were putting that together. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would like to see, how that conversation went.
Was that the sleeper hold finish?
Yes.
Into the roll up,
Yeah.
right? In the corner?
Yeah, just the storytelling, the setup to it, the backstage little interview that kind of built up the conflict. So real quickly, Paul Orndorff, I asked Mike Rotundo when he came down for one of Harley's camps who he watched when he was getting ready to transition over to being a heel. And he told me Paul Orndorff was the guy that he latched onto video-wise as the guy that was a master at being a heel.
Well, and in backstory, isn't Orndorff the one that beat the snot out of Vader in the back in the locker room?
Yeah.
And Vader thought he could run over everybody?
Yep. Imagine what he would have done if he would have been completely healthy.
Oh, my goodness. And not in flip-flops.
Yeah.
Kevin Jordan, who is the hardest person you've worked with? I don't know. It's all in how you look at it. I worked with Bobby last time. We're going to stop for a moment here. Look at that. Michael P.S. Hayes.
33 of 199.
Talk about he's a cool cat, but a weird cat, too. Like, he's still living the gimmick in the back. He's still walking around and super smart, knows the business inside and out, and can really get a character over if you listen to him and let him take control. But there ain't nothing like walking down the hall and seeing Michael Hayes come up to you and go, "What's up, brother?" And he put out the knuckles, and you're like, "What's up, man?" The hardest person I've ever had to fight was I worked with Bobby Lashley before he went on TV, and that was like moving a refrigerator around at the time. But then I worked with guys like Bob Holly, who liked everything to be stiff and would, lay it in. People believed you were in a fight wrestling with Bob. So it really, it's all on how you look at it and what the situation is. Let me see here.
Do you ever listen to the Pritchard podcast?
I do, actually. He's one of the few podcasts I listen. What do we got here?
Sid.
Ooh, Sid Vicious signed.
$199.
Signed auto. It's the same thing.
That's all right.
What were we talking about? Pritchard. So much wrestling going on right now in my brain.
Pritchard.
I do. I watch his podcast. I have a love-hate relationship with Pritchard because I had to work with him in WWE, and he was the producer for a lot of my the singing segments, which I don't think he really enjoyed. So it really made me look silly at times. But I wanted to learn from him because I was a big fan of Brother Love. Like that, I remember before I met Harley, I used to do what we would call the podcast of the 90s. If you guys remember where you used to call in to the local, like the number or whatever, and then you would get a rundown, a recorded voice of the rundown. Oh, pause.
Sean.
Another HBK.
59 of 99. Is this our third Sean?
This is our third Sean. You'd get the rundown of the shows and the independent wrestling shows in the area and stuff, and they had me actually doing a buddy love segment, and I would come on and talk to the Lord about wrestling and the fake. It was something I really enjoyed. And Pritchard's kind of out there a little bit, so it's hard for me to communicate with him sometimes. So I don't hate him. I don't love him either.
I only had one experience with him, and that was Steve and I did our first match with WWE.
Okay.
And he wasn't a fan of the match. Everybody else loved it. He didn't, because Kai and Tai gave us 50% of the match.
Oh, made it look like a real match, right?
Yeah. And Sting, Relic Auto, 18 of 50.
Wow.
That's awesome. Surfer Sting.
That's the OG Sting.
That's right. OG Sting.
Earlier when Surfer Sting too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. I haven't seen any NWO style.
Kevin Jordan, ever have anyone you tried to wrestle and they forget the script, it was hard to wrestle with? That's everybody. No one, you guys got to understand, there's not a script. There's not we're going to do this and we're going to do that move, we're going to do this move, we're going to do that move. So a lot of times when you're in the ring, you forget what you might have thought about doing in the back. You have to be able to adapt and overcome and improvise. That was one of the reasons why I know Matt went to Harley school and I went to Harley school, because Harley could call it in the ring and have no problem calling an hour-long match in the ring. Well, that's the guy I want to learn from, because that's the skill I want to obtain so I can be the most successful and not have to depend on anybody else.
Guys, I'll give you one reason why that's important. We're doing a match, and I don't remember what little town it was. We didn't draw terribly well, and we were, I don't know, probably somewhere after the second intermission, and or after the first intermission, I'm sorry. We weren't the main event that night. It was a singles match. And very first thing we do in the match, breaks the top rope.
I remember that.
If we would have had 500 things that we thought we were going to do that night,
couldn't have done them.
Yeah, all of it would have been gone. So that's why it's important to be able to go out there and just listen, react, adapt.
The ring has broke on me 4 different times in my career.
You hit the ropes really hard.
Well,
82 and 99 on Bobby the Brain.
Well, it doesn't help that your finisher is a top rope move. So when the top rope breaks, there's no second rope move.
I don't know, because probably half the matches I ever had were against you. So most of the time I end up
don't let them fool you.
Looking at the lights.
The Gold Exchange was the hottest heel faction from 1999 to probably 2004, 5.
Yeah, we started freebirding it.
Yeah,
Started off with me and superstar Steve Fender.
Yep.
Ace Steel and Derek McQueen joined in.
Rob Jameson, Johnny Gold was the lead manager.
Yeah.
We're dropping people.
Are we?
27.
27. Can't hold a crowd.
Yeah, we can't. We're not a draw anymore.
Yeah. Let me check something out here. Looks like my email.
Trevor, who is with you? OTS's Small. It's none of your business. Huh? Maybe we won't kayfabe and we'll keep stuff quiet. Maybe we got children's here. We're in the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. Just be excited. Be a part of the excitement. That's why you ain't got no friends. Kevin Jordan.
No.
Is that Leland? No, Leland. I got heat with Leland Race. Leland Race just doesn't hang out here in his off time. That guy's a superstar.
Traveling the world.
Yep. Beating J-Brones across the country.
So, Keith, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
Kevin. I wanted to call him Keith. That was T-Bone, wasn't it?
It's Kevin, yes. Keith was, yes. If your career had been 20 years prior, which territories would you have liked to work? World Class, Portland, Crockett, Florida, AWA. Well, Michael Kreese, I actually grew up on World Class. Oh, wait a minute.
Tatanka to 199.
Auto there. I actually grew up on World Class. That's the Sunday morning wrestling I saw, eating, in my underwear, eating Cheerios, watching guys like Kevin Von Erich, Iceman King Parsons, Gentleman Chris Adams. That's who I would have liked to have worked for. I was a fan of the WWF, but I wasn't a fan of it as a, how can I put it? Like, I enjoyed the characters, but if I wanted to watch wrestling and watch guys really get after it, it was World Class or it was NWA. Those were always, to me, the wrestlers. All right,
we got 13 here. Of 25. Bret Hitman Hart, tag team champion this time.
Had the world title the first time, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So there you go. This one's numbered to 25. Bret Hart, our fourth Bret Hart auto.
Not to mention, Michael, those other AWA, those guys weren't very prevalent for me when I was living in St. Louis in Missouri. So I don't ever really remember seeing a lot of their TV programming.
And guys, if you're just joining in, I know a lot of you probably have friends who are wrestling fans that are watching this or maybe participating. So just in case anybody joined in late, this is a group break. This is random hit format. So we're opening 3 full cases of 2017 Topps Legends of WWE. And right now we only have about half the spots filled. So what we do is we open all of these. I take a break every few minutes to enter in the autographs and relics. And then at the end, there are a total of 98 spots that will be random. So 96 of them will be autos or relics. And then 2 of the spots will be all of the numbered cards, like serial numbered cards that are not autos or relics. And then all of the base cards that are not serial numbered. So that's going to be like over 1,000 cards for that person. Like all of these cards will go to one person unless any of them has a serial number. Oh, yeah, Berserker, 72 of 99. So these 4 will go to one spot. But you can go to cardboardtreasures.com and get those spots. It is random hit style. So all of the names and all of the cards that are hits, autos and relics, along with the 2 bonus spots, those will be entered into random.org. So jump on cardboardtreasures.com and you can order spots. I think that's the best way to do it. Instead of, like, if people just say, I want a spot, I could be like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. But then we end up with too many spots. So cardboardtreasures.com has the inventory managed on there and stuff like that. That's the best way to do it.
David McCutcheon said, I'll grab another spot. Why not? And then Kevin Jordan says, how do I get in?
Yeah, cardboardtreasures.com. Look at the left sidebar. It says break spots. And I believe the first one is going to be Legends of WWE.
Travis said, that's mine, everyone. Which one were you talking about, buddy?
He's talking about Bret.
Oh, is he talking about Bret?
Yeah.
Okay.
Travis is a good friend of Cardboard Treasures. So, guys, what we do, the group breaks, a lot of people don't really know what these are. It's basically just, let's be honest here. We're going through picture cards of athletes with autographs and stuff. This is a pretty nerdy thing. I love it. But what makes it awesome is you can share this as a community, just like any nerd thing, video games, computers, anything like that. Comic books, they're best shared as a community. It's something that you can do alone or share as a community. So during the group breaks, this allows you to share the experience, share the chat. Guys, you don't even have to join in on the breaks. Just, interact as part of the community. Have a good time, get to know other people.
But it'd be super cool if you did join in on the break. So
yeah, I won't complain.
I'll throw a ball in here.
But yeah, guys, so this is something relatively new to the hobby, and a lot of people ask me what it is. It's not really something that you can explain in 2 or 3 sentences, but in a nutshell, it's a bunch of people getting together, sharing a case of cards, or in this case, 3 cases of cards, and interacting, having fun as a community.
Kevin Jordan asked, does it cost to get spots? And
Yes, it is $30 for a spot, or 4 spots for $110. Now, if you buy a box of this stuff on your own, it's going to be between $100 and $125, depending on where you get it. So you're basically, if you get 4 spots, you're getting all of those spots cheaper than you'll find the boxes somewhere or some places that have 4 hits in them. There's Road Dogg and
what we got?
Norman Smiley.
Norman
Hey, that's low
Smiley.
number. Blue, 10 of 25.
Big wiggle.
Big wiggle, that's right.
That's my best. That's my best impersonation.
He's still down in Tampa training,
He
isn't he?
is. Again, another guy that's extremely knowledgeable to the business, training our future generation of wrestlers.
All right, I want to see a Triple H or Stephanie auto and an Undertaker auto, guys. I'm ambitious. I don't want to settle for just one. And you know what? While we're at it, let's get a cut auto tonight.
Wait a minute. Oh, well. Thank you, David McCutcheon.
What's that?
David bought another spot.
Oh, awesome. Hey, I got a medical bill emailed
right
to me
on,
at the same
right
time. Eve Torres.
I'm digging it.
That's always weird when I'm trying to follow along and I get like notification emails or solicitations. So Ted was an agent too, and both of his sons, or 2 of his 3 sons that became wrestlers, trained at Harley School.
Yes. And he actually went out of the way a couple times. If you've ever seen me wrestle, I used to come out to the ring with my lip stuck up as far as like, oh, we're going to pause for a moment.
Kevin Nash, relative to $2.99.
Wow. It's like the 2nd or 3rd one we've got it, Kevin.
Yeah.
And he actually was the one, I used to come out and I'd put that lip out there and I'd wrestle the whole match. My lip out there, just like I'm supposed to be angry the whole time. And he's the first guy that actually taught me that less is more. Do it when it means something, and it'll mean more to the people.
Nice. Somebody saw a Taker and a Goldberg in one box. That's awesome.
Wow.
Sherry's numbered to 99. Once again, big thanks to World League Wrestling,
Yes.
Harley Race, Leland, and the Harley Race Wrestling Arena, Harley Race Wrestling Academy. We appreciate you guys letting us do this. Nobody else, and there are a lot of great breakers out there. Don't get me wrong. There are. I'm not going to pretend that there aren't. But nobody else is doing one in a Hall of Famers wrestling school with a 3-time former WWE World Tag Team Champion to give us some insight on a lot of these people and to chat with everybody. So
Just
anyway,
remember, this man brought it to you.
yeah, thank you guys. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. We've got the social media, the little Cardboard Treasures thing down at the bottom left. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and keep up to date, guys. This has been fun, and we don't have all the spots filled. I'm not going to pretend that this is like a sellout and that we were turning people away at the door. It's not.
Nope.
But this is the first time we've done this, and based on the interaction, guys, this has been a blast already. Right now we're at the halfway point in case number 2, so we're halfway done. I'm going to enter some stuff in, so I'm going to kind of lob one for Trevor here.
Okay.
So let's talk about. Oh, there you go.
Anticipation is just.
Yeah. So let's tell some Harley race stories. I can probably chime in here every now and then, but let's start off. We can have some fun with this, but let's start off on a serious note.
Okay.
What has Harley race meant to you as a wrestler? I almost called you a performer, then I wanted to punch myself.
Yeah, I wanted to punch you too.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is when Harley started up his wrestling school, he was doing World Legion at the time, and he was working with a couple other people. One of them was Dave Marquez. Extremely knowledgeable guy, has a wrestling company going on in California right now that's extremely successful, taking off. And Dave had actually spoke up for Harley and said that because I had previous wrestling experience that he wouldn't charge me to go to Harley's wrestling school. Well, a couple weeks later, a month later, whatever, Harley and Dave had a falling out. But I'm still there, and I'm like my second week into training. Harley calls me into the office and sits me down with him and his wife BJ, and he goes, "Okay, Trevor, we need to work out a payment plan." And I was a little bit shocked because I was told that I could go to the school for free, and I explained that to him. And I told him who told me, and Harley looked at me and he said, okay. And he honored somebody else's commitment for me to come to his school and start my career. Right there, it means a lot to me because he could have turned me away and could have sent me home, and my career could have went into a totally different direction. But Harley, being a man of his word, even though it wasn't his word, he was still a man of his word, upheld that for me. And then from there on, Harley really kind of took me under his wing. And when I would go to him, he would be very honest with me. He would tell me, don't do this, do that. Keep doing this, keep doing that. I remember one time when I just started with Harley, I was doing a heel gimmick, tagging with my brother, my real brother, and we were doing bodily harm. He was Scotty D and I was Johnny D. And this was before 3D and all that, and the Dudley Boys. And I'd done 2 shows for Harley. Got to wrestle one-man gang in a handicap match, which was awesome. So we all are living in Eldon, training in Eldon, and we go to this little karaoke bar. It was kind of our thing in Eldon. After the shows, we would go to a local bar, restaurant, spend time in that establishment. All the fans would come over. It would be good for whatever business we went to. Well, this night we decided to go to a karaoke bar / restaurant, a little small hole in the wall. And I've had a couple of beverages in me, and I go up and I decide to sing karaoke. Well, Harley's got his back to me, and while I start singing, Harley slowly turns around and just starts staring at me. And I get done with the song, and he waves me over, tells me to sit down in his booth, and he goes, from now on, Trevor, you're going to be Trevor Rhodes, and you're going to sing your entrance music to the ring. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool, that's what I'm going to do. And we're talking for like 30 or 40 minutes. I don't know if you remember this or not.
Abdullah?
Yes. We're talking for about 30 or 40 minutes. Out of nowhere, I get punched in the face. And I look up, and it's Abdullah the Butcher. And he was on the show that night and would happen to have a late flight out. So he came to the bar and was pounding back shots trying to get hammered before he had to take a 2.5-hour ride to the airport and then take a plane home. Well, for some reason, he thought BJ, Harley's wife, was his wife.
Yep. Albert's 99. Go ahead, Trevor.
And you're laughing because you remember it.
Oh, man, I was right there.
And out of nowhere, he just cold cocks me. Bow! But I was kind of a stud back then. I took the shot and looked right up. I started to get up, and Harley, Trevor, sit down. And, of course, Harley grabs Abby. What the hell are you doing punching my guys? That's not your wife. That's my wife. And Harley ends up getting Abby into get him to his ride and got him out of there.
That was the same night that a drunken fan asked us to autograph the hood of her car.
I'm sure she wasn't very pleased with that in the morning when she woke up.
Always try to accommodate the fans. And next up,
what we got?
Tully Blanchard relic, $2.99. Yep. We get enough of these Tully relics, we'll take them all out of the cards and make a shirt with them.
Right on.
Put the shirt back together. George Steele.
That's the only way I'll be close to the 4 horsemen. We're up to 30.
No, I'm not Leland. My name is Matt. I am the we when I talk about we and Cardboard Treasures. Actually, my community is the we when I talk about the we. Kind of a one-man operation, Cardboard Treasures, group breaks.
Christina Keller, I don't know, honey, you probably don't follow wrestling very much if you're asking me this question. Trevor, when are you and Lance going to be in one of the new video games, new WWE? Lance passed away, we're going on 7 years now. Has it been 7? I think it's been 7 years. He had a heart murmur, and the good Lord decided to take him home. Oh, Sergeant Slaughter.
$199.
The original G.I. Joe. Live action G.I. Joe, nonetheless. I just actually seen, I'm friends with Lance's mom and sister on Facebook. I talk to him quite often. And his mom just posted a picture of Lance's daughters. And man, there's one's 14, the other one's 12, I think, right now. grown up, beautiful little girls, doing really well.
It's good to hear.
Cody Fleming, hello from Michigan. Well, hello, Cody. That was funny. Now you guys got to understand.
Don't do that again, Hunter. Sorry, my kids.
We're adults now. We've got children, and children have to be a part of this. That's the only way we're going to take them into the next generation. And right now, what do we got?
Number to 99, Bret Hart Tag Team Championship.
My goodness.
That is 5 Bret Hart autos. So we have a total of 98 spots in this break. And right now, if you had a spot, you'd have a 1 in 20 chance of a Bret Hart auto.
And the fact
That's
that
just
he
Bret
was
Hart.
able to come up with that ratio so quick in his head is amazing.
Is there a Neidhart tag belt in there too?
There was.
Yeah, Neidhart. Yeah, both of them.
Let me see here.
This is a good time.
Kevin Jordan's wanting to come up here. He's only 45 minutes away. Not right now, big dog.
Hunter.
Let me see. Trevor, what inspired you in TNA to become Jethro Holiday? That's all Dutch Mantel. That's a combination of Doc Holliday and Jethro Tull. I'm not quite for sure where he came to that concoction of names or why he but that's what they gave me. I was just wanting an opportunity to try to just display my skills and get over.
Hey, good luck with it, Travis. Hopefully you get hooked up here. I'm gonna try to give me just a minute here, guys. I want to give everybody an update on how many spots are filled.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. This is random hits, so people buying more and more spots doesn't give you any less opportunity to get a hit because they're either going to filled spots or unfilled spots. If they go to unfilled spots, I'm throwing them on the eBay store. So I would prefer that people actually get the spots, and but if not, just don't think that that people are losing out on an opportunity to get something because more people are buying spots, because that's not the way it works. All right, while I've got that loading.
Let's see here. I'm just going through the messages, just staring at people. Matt Moore, hello from PA. Well, man, we're getting out there, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
reaching some places.
Sarge to 50, 44.50.
How much are the spots, Richard Neely? They are $30 a
30 a
spot,
spot.
110 for 4, right?
Yeah, and there's about a 3/4 chance of getting an auto in one of the spots. About a quarter of the spots will get non-auto relics, and then one spot will get all the numbered parallels, and one spot will get all of the base cards from all 3 cases combined.
I'm still waiting for the Triple H Stephanie McMahon auto.
Hit you up. Yeah, guys, here's the only bad thing about doing a random like this is, of course, if all the spots don't fill, I have to do something to make up for that. The uncomfortable thing is, what if we get an Undertaker auto and I get it? Everybody's going to be unhappy about it, including me. I mean,
These are for them, right? Like, this is all gimmicks.
yeah, that's not the way I want it to be. But at the same time, if I'm like, oh, guys, no, I was just kidding. Like, here's the Undertaker auto, then there's no incentive ever to fill a break.
Just want to shout out to Travis from Wisconsin. We see you, big dog.
Yeah, Travis has done breaks with us for a long time. Almost since we started.
Let me see. Dave Watson, did you have someone book your flights and hotels in WWE, or did you have to do that all yourself? They booked my flights for me, but we had to do our own hotels, our own rental cars, in whatever town we were in. That was all on us. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They think the WWE guys are making so much money and making millions and millions of dollars. But you have to understand, number one, taxes. Taxes. That's all I can say on that. But also you got to think, if we've got to pay for our rental cars, our own hotels, all the clothing, the suits and stuff, that stuff's mandatory. So we have to pay for that stuff for ourselves. Not to mention our
Oh,
own
my.
food. What do we got?
Hey, Hunter. Sorry, guys. 9 of 10.
Oh,
Edge.
Edge.
Sorry, my kid's got to look over my shoulder for this one.
Yes. He's one of Edge's biggest fans. Come over here and take a look. Don't be shy. We're live, brother.
Edge, number to 10.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Hunter's got an amazing Edge story to tell one of these days.
Yes, Dave, I have to pay state taxes in every state I wrestle in. At the time, there was nothing like writing 50 checks to the to the IRS. Yeah, I like to have David McCutcheon. That's why Foley and Owen would stay with fans to save on the hotel charge. I'll spend the money to sleep in my own bed or sleep in a bed by myself.
The team on camera. All right, next up, Relic
Yeah.
DDP to $299.
Oh, didn't we get an auto from him earlier as well?
Yeah. I think Relic auto and then a base auto. You got a Hulk Hogan autograph signed. That's awesome. Man, like, okay, so wrestling cards. Let's run through wrestling cards real fast. So they're getting hot again. Undisputed was real hot product, but man, the stuff from the 80s like doesn't have a whole lot of value except for like the 82. It's like 82 All Stars. I don't know. It's an unlicensed type thing, but most of the cards from when we were kids don't really have a lot of value. This kind of stuff, man, they've come a long way.
Well, and the product is way better.
There you go, back to back.
Mike Rotundas.
Yeah, these guys could be brothers or something. DDP's yoga pants. The 32 of 99 on the Goon.
Do I do DDP yoga? Not yet. But I give that same answer when someone asks me if I went to the gym today. So it's not on DDP, it's on me. Man, we can't get past that 40 mark, man. We keep hitting 40 and then we go down.
Yeah, everybody, you should share this video to your pages so we can...
Not to mention, guys, this is a cool thing to do with your kids, too. I don't know how many people. What do we got here?
there's our boy Kane. 62 of 199.
The reason why we say this is our boy Kane is Kane actually, what a lot of people don't know is he actually is from Missouri and started in a small company called Central States Wrestling Alliance with Frank Reed, the same company I started in. He smartened up, went to Dean Malenko's school, became the man he is today. But that's a small tidbit not too many people might not know about him.
We are going to pick up the pace just a little bit on this, guys.
Yep. I'm talking too much.
No, you're fine. Here you go. Ultimate Warrior. And this is numbered 29 of 50.
Patrick Reed, what's up? We've got Chris Penny from Arkansas. Right on.
Yeah, let's have a quick roll call, guys. Where's everybody from? Let's figure out how far we're reaching here tonight.
Yeah, can everybody tell us what state they're from?
Don't give us your address. Just, you know.
Well, if you want to.
I mean, if you've got a spot, I'm going to need your address to send your stuff.
Thank you, Dom. I appreciate the nice comment. Trevor seems like a great guy, great ambassador for the sport.
9 of 10.
What do we got here?
Road Dog.
Road Dog. Jesse James. Is that?
Yeah. It's got DX. Got a little smudge on the DX. It's got the DX inscription.
But that means he touched it, so it's worth more.
There we go.
Oh, very local. We got, St. Louis, Chicago, PA. Keep them coming, guys. Kirksville, Missouri.
Kirksville.
That's like right down the road, isn't it?
That's up by Macon Moberly.
From Ohio, living in Minnesota. Oh, Rick Patton right here, Troy, Missouri. Right on, Rick. Michigan, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Oh, right on. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Cheesehead Beer. All the way from Kansas. Love and Pete. Matt Moore from PA. Wow. Hawaii. Wow, Marcos from Hawaii. Right on. Patrick Reed. I know. That's my emos guy from Eldon. Oh, no. You guys, listen, I'm going to give a little emos plug. Every Wednesday, you go buy whatever size pizza, they give you another one free.
Yep.
Love me some emos.
I'm an emos guy.
Oh, you're an emo? Yeah, see?
Jason, you're in St. Peter's. That's awesome. I live in O'Fallon.
Coffeeville, our boy Bull Schmidt's still watching us, man. Living the dream.
Dang.
Love you, Bull. Miss you, bro. Florissant, Missouri, Connecticut, West Virginia, Cahokia. Oh, that's Missouri, though.
Cahokia, Jared Blum. What's up, Jared? Jared graduated with my brother. Could do more dips than any man alive.
Trevor, did you work both Raw and
Yeah.
SmackDown? If so, were there any big differences working for the two? Was the one more laid back? SmackDown way more laid back at the time, but that was before they were live. Now they're a live TV program, so tensions are high. Everything's high maintenance, high geared. So I bet you it's not nearly as relaxed on SmackDown anymore. Minnesota, Wichita, originally from St. Louis area though.
Yeah, Dave's joined in on a lot of our breaks for quite a while now, too.
Got Tiffany Clark from Minnesota.
Andre?
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
would be awesome.
Yeah, they don't have Andre cut autos in here. There is a guy who's a breaker who went to the National this last year, or this past summer, and he got a baseball signed by Andre the Giant. So that would be an awesome collectible to have. And
What do we got here?
here we go, Ted DiBiase,
$1 million man.
152 of 199.
Dave Watson, was Heyman there then? No, he wasn't. I mean, he was in and out because Brock would do a little bit of this, and he'd do some autographs or personal appearances and stuff, but he wasn't there. Nothing like he is now.
So, quick DiBiase story. He had a set of golf clubs that were personalized with his name on them that some golf manufacturer gave him, or some golf shop or something. And Ted Jr., when he was training at Harley's, came and did a golf tournament with me one time. And so Ted showed me the clubs and everything that his dad had given him, personalized. And there's a guy who could not have been any more indifferent to anybody that was in the building that day registering. So he takes Teddy's driver's license and he goes, back and forth. Like it was like it short-circuited his brain. The guy did like an octuple take, like a bobbing head doll. It was just like he couldn't process how the name Ted DiBiase was on a driver's license, and the guy was treated as first class the rest of the day. Couldn't have cared less about us before he saw that name. Teddy was a great dude.
Cody Sanders, Trevor, see if you can pronounce my hometown. No, I can't even try to pronounce Sly. God, no. What do we got here?
Sean.
Ooh, HBK.
63, 299. Looks like a T-shirt relic.
We're up to 46, man. I wanted to make sure
40,
I brought that in.
47 over here.
47. If we can, I'd love to break 50, guys.
We've got the, we've got the 48. There we go. See, growing. I like the iPad better than the iPhone because it's showing a higher number. All right, let's break 50.
Let's break 50. Come on, folks.
Triple H,
Living
Shawn
in
Michaels,
HBK.
Earthquake numbered to 50. 26 to 50.
The cool thing about these cards, because Earthquake isn't around anymore, they're not going to make too many more of these. After a while, they're just going to stop making them, so they're going to become really collectible.
I think we already went through these. Yeah, that's from.
Rod Rodriguez, Murdoch, can you run the ropes after the break? You're not paying me to run the ropes. You're paying me to make jokes at you and have fun with this. I'm not working that hard. Let's get a dual auto from Marcus.
Yes. How about the Triple H and Stephanie dual auto? First time ever in any products, I think, a dual auto between the two of them. If my distributor sales rep told me right. And what do we have?
Ooh.
Brutus, the Barber Beefcake, 20 of 25. On
Super
card
nice guy,
auto.
too.
Yeah, he is.
Funny.
Having this guy order a Bailey's and coffee from me when I was a bartender was an experience. Dude is straight up Brutus Beefcake 24/7.
Yes. Michael Kreese, 2 names rumored to be future NWA World Champs before tragedy struck David Von Erich and Magnum TA. Which one do you think would have had a better championship run? Man, David was the wrestler, but Magnum TA was, I think, I think he would have had a better run just because he was so big and the women. I mean, he's a good-looking guy back in the day. Not saying he's not now. HR Harley
Yep.
Race. But I just think he was more over at the time, and when his accident, he had his accident, it was a big shock. Like everybody said, like he would have been world champion if he wouldn't have had his accident. So I think Magnum TA would have had a way better run. What do we got here?
47 of 50. Bret Hart.
Wow, another one.
World Heavyweight title auto. Gee whiz. Is this 6?
I'll go through one.
6 or 7 Bret autos now.
Yeah. Pat Turner. Even the bad autos are great numbers.
Oh, man.
Did you ever work with Terry Funk? Any good stories? No, I never got to wrestle Terry Funk, but he did come down for a show once, and I got to get hammered with him. And were you with us when we were hammered with
Buzzers?
him and his wife? Yeah.
Yep. He is exactly, he's a super nice guy, but Terry Funk is exactly how you would expect him to be,
Yeah.
except nice.
That's down to earth. Magnum TA, we were just talking about him.
Yep.
If Lance was still with us, where would he be now? I think Lance would be back with the WWE. That's all that guy knew. That was like his only job. From the time he was 18, he was in developmental.
Over here.
He's 100% wrestler. He'd have been in the WWE or probably, you know what, actually probably been best fit for New Japan. If you really want to know.
6 autographs. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Travis, odds are in my favor now, Matt. Pull a super dang now.
Yeah, so, okay. Travis is, a lot of breakers have catchphrases. They say sick or, I don't know, neato or, what naturally comes out for me is oh my. Because you know me, you've been around me a lot. You know, I talk like a wrestler.
Oh my.
So when I'm doing PG, it's what naturally comes
Yes,
out.
It is.
And
It
so
is
Travis has tried getting me doing the Joe Dirt dang for since he started doing the breaks with me. All right, guys, 2 more, and then I'm gonna feed Trevor a story
Okay.
so I can update the list because they're starting to pile up here.
And we do Tiffany Clark. Yes, we do know who Tony DiNucci is. And Trevor, I gotta go in a minute. Can I message you on Facebook? Sure, I'm on Facebook. That's why I'm on social media, so fans and friends can get a hold of me. So yes, Marcos I pulled a Mick Foley triple auto 710 a couple days ago.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's awesome. Congrats. I really hope we hit one of those
We're
tonight.
up to 50, homie.
Up to 50.
Yeah,
Look at
we got
us.
50 people watching. Right on.
Drawing the viewers.
Yes.
You're a regular
I
Bob and
dare
Tom
you
here.
guys to get us 10 more people, and we have 60. I don't think you can do it, but you know that's just me.
I was gonna say, let's see if you guys can share it and get us up to 100. I don't want things to get weird though. So
I'd hate for this to be popular.
I know, right? We're gonna keep things underground.
Oh, we dropped down to okay. I'm about to say we dropped down to 49, back to 50. Somebody left us.
Yep. All right, Road Dogg and Boogeyman. 156 of 199.
Yes, it's under Trevor Murdoch.
Oh.
Richard Neely says he needs 53 to match the number on my hat. Is there 53 on my hat?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys got to understand, I just have a hat. I just put it on. I don't. We're lucky that this is all the same color.
You try to match?
Not really. But my wife put it together for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Bulldog. And 24 of 50, Chris Jericho. That is the Undisputed Championship. Cool thing about these titles too, guys, is it actually shows on the back what commemorative championship plate is on the front. So that's cool. Let me get that
Hey, Jake Durden's watching. You know
Jake Durden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's what's
One of the best young talents in the business.
Jack Foster, right, with NWL?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw Jake Durden for the first time in 2012, I believe. Hadn't had very many matches. Just, you could tell he was a special kind of guy. Just the first time you meet him,
You
had
went
a
out
lot
there.
of potential.
And you can tell that he really loves the business and is a student of the business.
Yep.
Jack Foster, Trevor Murdoch run.
But you know what? A lot of people asked when he came out about us tagging together.
Bronze Harley,
There we go.
Spisco, and Sags.
Actually, I would love to tag with him in Japan. I think we would get
Mm-hmm.
super over in Japan.
Yep. Agree wholeheartedly, David.
Yes, I do too.
And as far as talkers, good luck finding anybody better.
What do we got here?
Relic, Bret Hart,
Bret
205
Hart.
of 299, and that's the pink. Looks like part of the singlet.
Who do you think is or was the best promoter of all time? I really don't have an opinion on that, really. I mean, like,
Best promoter?
yes, of all time.
Gotta
I
be
mean,
Vince.
it's hard to. It depends on how you're judging that. I mean, Sam Munchnick was huge in the St. Louis area, but then you've got Vern Gagne up in the Minnesota area. You've got who was running Florida at the time?
Eddie Graham.
Eddie Graham. I mean, so it's hard to make a distinction.
If you could tag with anybody now, who would it be?
I just said Jake Durden or
Durden?
Jack Foster. Jack Foster. He compliments my style, and I think I would compliment his very well. There you
Nice.
go. He's the first guy. Kurt Henning's the first guy that I've ever seen gave Harley trouble, and when I giving him a hard time, he'd walk up to him and go, "What's up, Charlie Race?" And that was like, to me, I was like, "Oh, I know you didn't." And of course, Harley's like, "It's good to see you, Kurt." And I was like, "What?" I didn't know that power even existed.
Yep. His son Joe, Curtis Axel, trained at the Harley Race Academy too.
Great
Just an
talent.
exceptional dude.
Extremely underutilized right now. Oh my gosh. What do we got
Autograph
here?
relic, Mick Foley.
Oh, Mick
10
Foley.
of 25, relic
whoop.
auto.
Trevor, any Santino stories? I mean, I spent some time with Santino. I'm trying to think. The thing is with Santino, like, he's nothing like what you see on TV. That the comedy, goofy, funny guy. He's extremely funny, but he's extremely down to earth too. I wish I had. We did some running around together, but nothing that I could talk in a PG setting for sure.
Spisco to 50. I was glad to see him get inducted into the Hall of Fame not too long ago.
When you were down in Dallas, right?
I don't remember if it was that year or the year before.
Yeah, we're almost done with this box.
Yeah,
That
we've only got
Stephanie
one
and
case
Triple
left.
H has got to be coming soon. What do we got here? Ooh,
Edge, 36
where's
of
Hunter
50.
at? We got another Edge.
So, quick story here. When we went down to WrestleMania in Dallas in 2017?
Yeah.
In 2016, we get there, and we were just going to go to the WWE Superstore the first night because Hunter wanted to go. He's a collector. He's a fan. And we ended up pulling into the parking lot and got a phone call a message from Curtis Axel's wife inviting us to come in and get the VIP treatment at WrestleMania Access. So she's trying to take us around and let Hunter meet all the wrestlers. Well, he misunderstood her and thought that she said Edge was there. So he wasn't interested in meeting anybody else but Edge. Well, Edge wasn't even on the bill at that time. Like, he was not advertised at all. And next day, we ended up going to the to Access 3 times. Once with Axel's wife, once with one of the referees who was a former student at our school, And then once by ourselves, what's the time that we were by ourselves that we found out the Edge was going to be there. And of course, that's the one time that we have no hookups getting us the VIP treatment anywhere. And I'll tell you what, they cut the line off and we refused to lead the line. And Edge got through a whole bunch of autographs. And my son has the Rated R Superstar belt with Edge's autograph. Greatest thing in the world, most awesome thing he could ever get. Bought a really nice display for it, and it's too heavy to hang up anywhere. So it's been shoved under our bed for almost 2 years now. But that was an awesome experience. He got to meet his hero, and pretty cool putting things in perspective too. You know, a lot of these kids, the way they look up to the superstars.
And that's how
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's how it should be done. And kudos to you, Edge.
He was awesome. He didn't have to do that. He stuck around.
If you're watching, buddy, which I know you are, kudos to you.
Hey, I'm Facebook friends with his trainer, so.
Dude, we were up to 55 a minute ago, so I mean we're up to 52 now.
My story lost some viewers. Oh.
No, we're moving on up. We're the George Jeffersons of card breaks.
That's right. Boss Man Bret and Lex Luger relic to $2.99. Part of the Wolfpack T-shirt, I believe.
Wouldn't doubt it. Oh, sorry, Matt. Trevor, when you tagged with Bull Schmidt, was it irritating having to carry him in every single match? We'll give you a little insight on that one. Pete Akers is a mutual friend of Matt's and Bull's and mine, and Pete's been to several matches of ours. So, yes, it was at times carrying all that weight of him, and yes, it was difficult. I hope Bull's still watching.
And next up, autograph, Lex Luger. 59 of 99. It's a guy who should have been inducted years ago.
Yes.
It's like, it became popular to bash Luger, but the one thing nobody can deny is this guy mattered everywhere he went from the time he first came into the business. True special main event talent from day one.
I agree.
Yeah, the torture rack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if you're a muscle guy and the move allows you to flex
while you're doing your move,
you get to posterize somebody while finishing them off. That's a perfect finisher. Here's Elizabeth, 4 of 50.
Kevin Jordan. Trevor, do you agree Jake Durden is now the Bruiser Brody? I think he obviously somebody, but still make it your own. I'd get heat for, at times for being called Murdoch, but I made it my own. I made my own character, my own person. So yeah, Jordan's a fantastic talent, and hopefully one day he'll get his just due when it comes to this business and be able to showcase his talent on the stage of stages. Who is your pick for the next NXT up and comer right now? I don't know. I haven't watched enough of it to really make an opinion. Gold Dust.
186 of 199. Gold Dust on card autograph.
Now, what's funny about Gold Dust is I spent probably first and 8 years of my career pretending that I was his brother and that I was the son of Dusty Rhodes. And Harley brought him in for a show one time, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I can introduce myself. He wasn't very thrilled that I was going around telling everybody I was a Rhodes. So it wasn't quite the interaction that I thought it would be. Of course, later on down the line when I got into WWE, I got to spend a lot of time with him, work with him quite a bit, and we became really close friends. But then that was, what do we got
69 of 99, Alundra Blaze.
Is that the
Women's
old school?
Championship?
Or is that that's the women's?
It's the women's.
Okay.
Very cool.
Women's Championship.
Patrick Reed. I used to grow my sideburns out when I was young just because of you. Right on, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. After a while, though, never mind. PG show.
All right, here we go. Let's see something big here to finish off case number 2.
Legendary.
Sting and Rick Rude. Was there ever any talk? Pat said Murdoch and Goldust would be a great team. Was there ever any talk of the two of you teaming up?
Believe it or not, no, not one iota. And that was, I think, more so because he was Goldust. He wasn't Dustin Rhodes. He wasn't Dusty's boy. He created his character and his image as Goldust. So Goldust and Trevor Murdoch wouldn't have been the combination you would think it would be. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's funny, Rick, hearing people talk about wrestlers like Brody, and a lot of times you can identify where they're from by the way they refer to wrestlers. So St. Louis, yeah, definitely. You know, if they say King Kong Brody, they're from St. Louis or Kansas City.
Last box, guys.
Here we go. We have. So, anyways, Trevor, one other thing that I wanted to talk about is so. Run us through a week in the life of a WWE superstar, just from the day you wake up when you have to go somewhere.
Okay. Well, most of the time you'd get up. Let's say, for example, you had a show on Friday. You usually wrestled Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You wrestled 5 days a week. So you would get up Thursday morning. For me, I live 2.5 hours away from the airport from St. Louis. So I would have to drive 2.5 hours to the airport. Then I would have to fly to whatever city that I was wrestling near, whatever big city was near where my house show was. So, and most of the time I had connections. So by the time that I got on my flight and had 2 connections, drove into the airport, I probably was already traveling for a good 9-10 hours. When I would finally land in the town, if I got there first, I would wait for Lance, or if Lance got there first, he would wait for me. So then we'd get to the rental car, put all our stuff in the rental car, and then we'd immediately go find either a gym or a place to eat. It just depends on what we wanted to do at first. So then you find a gym, place to eat, usually a place to tan. Then you go to the venue, the arena. Then you sit there for 3 or 4 hours until the doors are open, and that's at 7. Well, if your match isn't till 5th or 6th in the card, you're sitting there for another 2 hours while matches are going on. Then once the show's over with, and you can't just do your match and leave, you have to wait for the complete show to be over with, which is usually 10:30. Then you would have to drive to the next town. WWE rule at the time was they would fly you to the next town if it was more than 250 miles. So usually most trips were 240, 230. You're driving another 4 or 5 hours to the next town, and usually by the time you got into the town, you got to your hotel. It was 2 or 3 o'clock, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning if you stopped and ate or wanted to have a beverage. You get in, you go to sleep, you wake up. You do the same thing over again. Find you a gym, find you a place to eat, find you a place to tan, go to the building, then drive to the next town. And you get up and you do that same thing over and over again until you get to TV on Monday. And then what a lot of people don't understand too is when you see those guys on Monday, for most of us normal human beings, our Monday is the beginning of the week. It is supposed to be the time where we've had 2 days of rest and relaxation, and we're going to start our work week and be the most freshest, revived individual. What you don't know is that when you see those guys on TV on Monday, that's actually their Friday. That's the last day of their week. So they've been wrestling 4 different nights, getting beat up for 15 to 20 minutes a night. And then they have to go out there on TV and act and wrestle as if they are 100%. They are no injuries, not hurting or nothing. And to be able to have to go out there and do that and perform at the highest level possible and do that successfully is extremely difficult. That's why you'll see a lot of guys, sometimes they have good matches, sometimes they've had bad matches. You have no idea what they've had to go through the week before. And that's not including, now I didn't include any personal appearances, any autograph sessions that you would have to do before you got to the show. So it's no telling what list of things you had to do just in that one day. And then you had to drive and get your own self to the next town and pay for your own hotel and find your own hotel. So that was just a general day in the life of what. Yeah, I got you. That is the a normal, basic day in the life of a WWE wrestler.
How many times did you get caught sneaking out early?
I got caught 4 or 5 times.
Did you?
You know, it's not that I didn't want to be there. It's not that I didn't enjoy the matches. It's just after you watch, you know, average show is what 7 matches? An average show, WWE show, 8 matches maybe. And you do that 280 something times a year. After a while, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and head to the next town so I can. And sometimes you got away with it, sometimes you didn't. And it wasn't that I was being disrespectful or didn't want to watch anybody else's stuff. It's just, a man wants to get to his hotel and take a shower and call it a night.
So what's the punishment if you get caught?
At the time, it was just somebody yelling at you, and obviously it got brought up to, you know, a couple of the higher ups, and maybe they would, you know, kind of give you an evil look or make a comment such as, you know, hey, you headed out early tonight, you know, just, it wasn't nothing bad, but it was enough to just let you know they knew.
That's the worst too, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible.
Like, dude, just find me $500 and
Yeah,
let's move on.
that's the biggest downfall, in my opinion, WWE is lack of communication between its talent and higher ups. How much would you charge for Jerry the King Lawler?
We haven't pulled a Lawler,
Yeah,
but we don't. None of it's at this point. Everything's random hits, so everything that's pulled here, whoever has spots has the same shot as everybody else who has a spot. Of course, multiplied by the number of spots purchased. One of the greatest matches of all time.
Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve
Yep.
Austin. That's the match you passed out in, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Brett.
blood coming down.
Yeah.
Maybe? SummerSlam.
That was Mania. And
What we got
nice.
here? Fit
Finley. Man, all over the card too. $199. He really explored the space on this trading card.
Talk about a shooter. That guy is somebody you would never, ever want to mess with, even on a good day with that guy. He'll tie you up in a knot quick.
There you go. Fit Finley to $199. On card auto.
Terry Reynolds is the other card. My goodness. So
wait,
attractive.
Terry.
Hello.
Adnan DiBiase. Poor U.S. Tag Team
Lawler.
Championship.
You just got a Lawler.
Yeah, Lawler base card.
Yeah.
Do you know Dozer?
I don't know who Dozer is.
Is he an independent wrestler, Travis?
Oh, what do we got here?
Oh,
Foley.
54 of 299 relic.
It's a really good card. I want the
You wanna see
Triple
that?
H. Yeah, I want to see the Triple H Stephanie McMahon.
Rotundo and Sid. Again, guys, if you didn't catch the beginning of the break, usually I go through every card, I call out every card, but it doesn't really work in this scenario. I think that people would much rather hear Trevor talking and answering questions and sharing stories. Kerry Von Erich to 50 than hearing me calling out cards that you can already see the names on. So just to give a little perspective here, I just added that first parallel. This is a stack of numbered parallels that's going to one spot. Not to mention all the numbered parallels that are in this case. This case. This is case number 3.
Cody Sanders. Trevor, have you ever came to Alabama to wrestle? Yes, I've been to Dothan, Alabama to wrestle several times. I've wrestled in every state at the least probably 10 times. But I wasn't with WWE, it was on the independent scene. What do we got here? Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
41 of 99. Second Duggan auto. Very nice.
A lot of Dusties.
Yeah.
That's one guy I miss that's still around. I wish was still around.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about good for the business.
Haku.
Harley
Harley.
Race.
Looks like should be a relic auto coming up here.
Come on.
Elizabeth, Bobby Heenan, and 96 of 99.
Ric Flair. That's
Flair.
the world title, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ric Flair World Heavyweight Championship belt auto.
Cody Sanders, you need to get me a hookup so I can come drive trucks for the WWE. Cody, I'll get on that. I'll make a call about that here in a minute. I got you. Any good Dusty stories from Michael Kreese? Actually, one time when me and Bull Schmidt, Dusty was running Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling, I think it was. And we got the call. He called Harley looking for a tag team, and Harley spoke up and sent Bull and I down there. And it's the first time I ever got to meet Dusty. And he was actually working with Barry Windham at the time. And we went down there and wrestled 2 nights, had 2 great matches. Afterwards, we got to sit down and have a couple beers with Dusty. Just chew his head off about questions, this, that, and the other. Just super nice guy. But the other funny story I have is I used to wrestle as Trevor Rhodes for a long time in my career. And Harley decided he was going to bring in Dusty for a show for WLW. So I asked Harley, I go, does Dusty even know that I'm doing a gimmick down here, as his son? And Harley, I don't know. Let's call him up. And right there, Harley just opens up his yellow. He had this black calendar book that had all. If you'd ever been in Harley's office and was a young WLW guy, you would open up this. He'd open up this calendar of different dates, but it would have different numbers. You'd see a number of Sting. Then out of nowhere, there'd be a Vince McMahon number on the bottom. It was just this plethora of he'd get a number, he'd just write it down in this book. Well, he calls up Dusty right there. I'm sitting in the office. I'm being quiet because he's got us on speaker. And he goes, Dusty, I got a kid down here. I'm calling him Trevor Rhodes. I thought I'd let you know. And I'm gonna say one cuss word on this, man. You know what what I'm gonna say.
11 of 50.
And Harley goes, Dusty, what is the kids that you have when you're not married? You know what I'm talking about? Out of wedlock, and out of nowhere, Dusty comes on. So he's my bastard. He's my bastard son. And it started laughing. And some of the guys heard it, and it became the running joke that I was the bastard son of Dusty Rhodes.
98 of 199 Gold Dust.
Trevor, Bull Schmidt, Trevor. Look at that, Gold Dust, signed auto. It's signed autograph. Of course it's signed autograph. It's an autograph.
Oops.
Bull Schmidt is listening. He remembered the trip. We actually blew out a tire in our Jeep on the way home. Great weekend, made great money, and then blew out a tire on the way home. But that's another half of a story of a rated R show we should do.
And the late night edition.
Oh, the late night edition. Our boy Bull staying strong. What do we got here?
Oh,
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
look at that.
Signed
23 of
autograph.
99.
Wow. Little sidebar, Harley brought Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in 4 or 5, might have been a little longer than that. Our kids, man, I got a picture. Matt, he took a picture
2011.
with both of our kids. I think they were probably only 5 and 6 at the time.
Yeah. Yep, 2011. Gosh. Reached his hand down for my kid to give him a low 5, and my kid decided to try to tackle him.
Well, then,
Like 2 hands.
then sidebar, I'm going to give you a little insider's tips on pro wrestling. Matt and I wrestled our last match in Eldon. We did it was a 15-year reunion, right? Was it 15? 15 years.
I don't know. Old guy match.
Right. Well, it was the anniversary. It was WLW's 15th anniversary, and we did an old school match where it was me and Bull Schmidt against the Gold Exchange, Matt Murphy, and Superstar Steve. And as we're doing the match, stop.
Blunder Blaze.
Blunder Blaze.
17 of 50.
Well, I keep saying Blaze. And we decided to do a spot in the match where Matt pretended to hurt his knee. And we jumped out of character and went down to take care of Matt. Well, out of nowhere, Ricky Steamboat comes running from the back. And we didn't think Ricky was smart to what we were doing. And Ricky comes up and he's checking on Matt, and I come over there and I'm like, Ricky, it's part of the story. It's part of the story. And he pauses, and we've got 500 people around us in the arena, and he looks at me and goes, I know, kid, relax. And then goes back to what I was like, okay. What do we got
60
here?
60 of 99, JBL.
JBL.
Belt auto, that is WWE Championship. So at the end of that match, now Ricky Steamboat was my childhood hero. Reason I got into the business. When Macho Man came down off the top rope with the timekeeper's bell, kind of a turning point in my life. Gosh, man, so I can't believe that as a little kid I had so many tears inside of me, but cried my eyes out seeing that. And so Steamboat was always my dude. And after the match, he came barreling into the locker room, and I was like, oh man, like he's getting ready to jump us about something. He's my childhood hero. First time he'd ever see me in the ring, and he didn't. He was 100% praising our match. It was just awesome. And man, I could have quit right there. Like that could have been my last match ever. I would have been cool with it.
Well, coming from a guy that was able to tell stories in the ring for so many years and go so long and have so many great matches, to come in the back and go, guys, that's how it's done. That's how you do it. I mean, it just justifies everything we've done and all the hard work. It means so much, you know?
Yeah. So the two of us, though, putting a match together, I mean, you would have thought we hated each other. Bickering, arguing.
We were both stubborn, and we both thought we were 100% right. But the cool thing about it, though, Matt, about you and I, is when it came down, once the bell rang, we just did what was best for the match.
Yep.
And that's what was important to us. It was the fact that the fans, our egos were second compared to the fans having the best match possible.
Yep. Now, make no mistake about it, our egos were plenty huge.
Very huge. But we were also, Matt, we were running 45-minute tag matches, 30-minute singles matches at the time that guys weren't doing, that we were only hearing stories from back at the older guys.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't too much longer after that, you heard Punk and Chris Hero going an hour-long match. And
93 minutes.
93 minutes, yeah. But I'll never forget that about Steamboat, man.
Yep.
Ricky, it's just part of this. I know, kid, relax. And we didn't tell him, no one told him. He was just smart enough to see what was going on. And actually, didn't he call it the Fit Finley spot? Like, I guess Fit Finley used to do it?
I'm not sure.
What do we got here?
DDP relic.
Oh, wow.
243 of 299. Guys, this is going to be an incredible random. Now, one thing I will tell you is my emails have not been updating. It looks like some orders have come through. So what I'm going to do is, once we get through these, I'm going to do a hit recap, and then I'm going to grab my phone so I can more yoga pants. I'm going to grab my phone and try to update the list of everybody who has spots. And how about once again, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, 90 of 199. But anyway, so the way this will work, if you've never done a random hit group break, is all of the spots, whether there's a name to go into it or if that name is unfilled, all of the spots go into a random. You randomize the order, and then you randomize the order of all the cards, all the cards that are awarded to those spots, and then you just match them up. Rob Van Dam. Didn't he beat you? Was it a King of the Ring elimination?
It was a qualifying match.
Yeah.
Yes. He was, when I got a chance to work him, you know, that guy throws kicks, a lot of kicks, a lot of flips in his work. But I see so many guys would put up their hands because they were afraid of where it was going to land, and at times they should have been, because sometimes, you know, they would potato you. But I've got a picture. of him whipping me in the corner and me getting my hands down and him doing that spin kick to me in the corner, and my hands are down, and it's clearly you can see him knocking the crap out of me. But I was very proud that I kept my hands down and took the potato because it was a great picture. What do we got here?
Oh, man.
Undertaker autograph.
7 of 50. Finally hit the Undertaker card.
And
Undertaker Legends Auto.
If I don't hear a response from you guys on this one, then you guys call it a day and go home. That's awesome. That's my chew can.
I'm gonna say I heard some chew hitting the floor there.
Yeah,
Or
I
can
tried
chew.
to pretend like it wasn't. I got it, stud.
All right, Undertaker.
Wow, that's huge. Oh my!
Van Dam.
Even the wife got
That's
in on
right.
this one.
That's right.
She's like, oh yeah.
All right, so we got an Undertaker. Once again, guys, if you want an opportunity to get any of these cards in the random, jump on cardboardtreasures.com, left sidebar. Just go to break spots, grab some spots, and next up, more yoga pants. 7 of 50 DDP. Oh, this is an autograph too. The yoga pants jumped out at me.
Card of the break so far. Yeah, I agree. And then you got Bull Schmidt, been waiting for one of the big dogs. And to be honest, that's pretty crazy to get one for Undertaker, because I haven't seen him at a lot of autograph sessions throughout the years. They've always protected his gimmick.
Yep.
So to get his autograph and to hold on to it, I think it's going to be something special.
Yeah, 7 of 50. Boss Man. That guy was fun to...
Yeah, Harley brought him into work.
Bull, you had a singles with Boss Man.
Yeah.
Steve and I had a match with him and Butch Reed. Man,
Super nice guy. I remember him being when he was here.
nice guy, but man, when he was throwing a punch, whew, there's Harley again. They looked amazing though.
But didn't they bring? Didn't Harley bring in Bobby Eaton that same weekend too?
No, that wasn't the same. That was the same. They were both there in the same town, but that was a year apart.
Okay. Matt's got the best memory. I can't remember any of that stuff. And we still haven't gotten to the Triple H or the Stephanie McMahon.
David, I see that you just joined in again. 7 of 50 Undertaker. Once again, big thanks to the Harley Race Wrestling Arena and World League Wrestling for letting us do this break live. As you can see, there's the ring right behind us.
And you guys go to harleyrace.com or worldleaguewrestling.com and check out their page. And if they're could be in an area around you guys and they run a show, you guys get a chance to watch some really good wrestling.
Yep.
Patrick Reed, don't hold out on the buffalo wrap recipe. He's talking about when I had a bar and grill, T. Murdoch's Bar and Grill, and he had come down and ate quite a few of our buffalo chicken wraps. That's a secret I'm going to the grave with, Patrick. So you're just going to have to find it somewhere else or come to the house. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate it, man.
Goldberg, and we have an auto coming. This is Sergeant Slaughter.
Wow.
105 of 199.
That's the second Sarge we got, isn't it?
Yeah, second or third.
Let's see here. You ever have any interactions with Haku? Are the stories about him accurate? Yes, most likely. And we talked earlier about it. Harley bringing him in for a show. I remember Harley had me wrestle him in a singles match, and I blew up before I walked into the ring because I was so nervous. And it had to be a 20-minute Broadway. What do we got here?
Relic, Mankind.
Wow.
139 of 299. He came to do a show for us?
Foley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a manager
show.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the fair show
Was
with you.
Didn't he? Was it you or Johnny Gold that he borrowed a sock from?
Johnny Gold.
Oh. He didn't have a sock for Mr. Sacco.
No, he didn't borrow a sock. He took off one of his own. He was wearing one of his. He took off that he was actually wearing.
Oh.
If I remember correctly. And didn't Didn't you guys wrestle? You and Steve wrestle in a tag match, and he was the guest referee.
Yeah, Harris Brothers.
Ron and Don Harris.
Those guys, like, listening to Pritchard podcasts, he's not really complimentary on those guys. I always thought they were a pleasure to work with.
Matt, I mean, I remember when you and I had to work him, and we had Jim
Jim Barnett scouting
from WCW come look at us, and his only complaint was, those boys look like babies. Well, yeah, everybody looked like babies back then. Put us in developmental, we'll change that.
Yeah, no kidding.
But we weren't ready. We thought we were.
That was our mistake. We thought, put us in developmental and we will change it. We didn't really understand, like, no, you change it and then you get the developmental. How do you have a sock if you're Mick Foley and working? Yeah, I don't know, man.
It was a rough day for him.
All right, here we go. Fit Finley.
Wow.
This is 96 of 99.
I think he took the full page on that one,
Yeah,
too.
a little more than all over the card.
I'd love to see Foley and Troy. Well, you're going to have to talk to HR Harley Race about that.
Foley's done some appearances for WLW in the past. All right, a few more packs. I'm going to update the list. And then we'll have 4 boxes to go, and we will be all done with this portion of it. And we can get to the randoms. So we do use random.org to do the randoms. And,
here it is, folks.
Dual auto, 1 of 10.
Yes.
Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Finally.
David McCutcheon, you're pretty knowledgeable about wrestling cards. You got an estimated value on this one? 1 of 10, dual autograph, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Wow. Well, as you can see, folks, David has found this to be a good card.
All right, let's
Wow, that's the one we've been looking for, right?
Yep.
Marcos says a grand. At least a grand minimum for that card. Wow, and we don't know who gets that yet?
Nope. So, guys, here's the deal. If there is a single spot left over and this goes to the unfilled spot, sorry.
Wow.
No, I'm just messing with you guys. Seriously, I would much rather see somebody else get this.
That's $1,000 right there in your hand.
Look at this.
Look at, yeah.
Trevor, most of our lives, we didn't have a car worth
No, not even close
the
to
combined
that.
value of these two cards.
I remember one time
Taker,
I
you're
got
a stud,
rear-ended, and I used the insurance money to pay my rent and still drove around a rear-ended truck. You remember who did that? Ace Steel. Wow, man.
Dory Funk, Bob Orton, Mr. Perfect, and Bret Hart, Big John Studd, and the Warlord. So for those of you who aren't big card collectors, there's this goofy, I think it's goofy. There's a thing called eBay 1 of 1. Now what that means is not only is this a dual autographed card of Triple H and Stephanie, it's also number 1 of 10, which means, in theory, this was the first one manufactured that's serial numbered to 10. So they call that eBay 1 of 1, and a lot of times that does add value.
David just said, just bought another spot.
Right. Terry Funk. Well, to quote the great Jim Ross, business just picked up.
I'm super jealous whoever gets that card, man. I don't even want to sell it. I just want to look at it.
All right. So I guess with Triple H and Stephanie, let's talk about the McMahons and just what is it like trying to talk business with Vince McMahon? And then does he ever take it outside of the realm of business? And how do you react to it? Because I think if Vince asked me about like the Eagles game or something like that, I would probably just start drooling. Like I wouldn't know how to.
I never spoke to him about anything but wrestling.
Okay.
Like it was everything we spoke about was wrestling related. I tell you that the one time, one of my interactions with him, he was a straightforward. He likes the man's man. You got to have a set between your legs. If you don't have a set between your legs just to come up and shake his hand, then why would he want to do business with you? I had no problem with that, but I hadn't spent a lot of time sitting down talking with him about business. So I come to find out that Lance and I are splitting up, and him and I had already split up once before, and I hadn't spoke up, and I kind of got lost in the wash. So when it was time, when I knew that we were heading towards another split, I wasn't going to leave it to chance. So I decided that I was going to try to include my singing. I knew that when I'd go to karaoke bars, I'd have a good time. People said that I wasn't bad. And I thought it was something that I could do where eventually I get to a point where I could make up my own songs about my opponents, just like John Cena would do about it with his rap, but in a country version, and make fun of them a little bit more. So I realized we're getting split up, and I realized I need to talk to Vince. He's the only one that can make this decision. So I start tracking him down throughout the whole day. I'm watching him, and every time I get close to talk to him, somebody randomly would come up and talk to him, and so I wouldn't have his attention. So finally, I started following him. And I see him. And he's starting to head back towards his office, and I'm like a stalker pretty much. I'm following him around. As soon as he turns around, I'm hiding behind the bleachers or something. Peeking my eye out. And I see, all right, he's walked away. So I get closer, and finally I see him put his hand on his door to his office, and he goes to walk in, and one of the female riders was coming in to talk to him, and I just kind of pushed her out of the way, stepped in behind Vince, shut the door, and leaned up against the door so nobody could come into his office while I talked to him. And I just pitched it to him. I said, Vince, I know you're splitting me and Lance up. I said, I don't want to get lost in the wash like last time. I said, I get told that I can sing pretty decent. I said, this is what I'd like to do with it. And he goes, sing me a song. And so right there in the middle of Vince's office with no music, I sang him a song. Now, I was so scared and so nervous that he was going to tell me I was an idiot for wasting his time and fire me that I don't remember what the song was. But he gets done, and it feels like a 10-minute pause, but it's really only a couple seconds. And he goes, "Oh damn, Trevor, that's great. Why didn't you tell me you could sing? We'll put that on TV next week. My goodness." And I was so excited that he didn't call me and fire me that I was like, "Thank you, Vince. This is awesome." And I walk out and not ask him or talk to him what I plan on doing next week on TV. Well, lo and behold, I left it up to them guys, and the next week, I'm standing on the announcer's table singing to my tag team partner. So working with Vince, it wasn't bad. It wasn't hard. It was just, you got to know how to approach him. Stephanie was a whole lot more approachable, and she's the one that actually, not suggested, but gave me an idea on bringing out the sideburns. I had the sideburns, but we were talking, and she goes, "Are you going to grow them out really big?" And I said, "Well, I hadn't planned on it, but I am now." Whoop. And she goes, "I think that would be really cool." And she's the one that gets the credit for me having the big sideburns. So Travis just bought 2 more spots. Got to take the chance. I'm with you.
And this one's awesome. What? Wendy Richter.
Wendy Richter. That's old school there. Yeah.
Well, guys, this is going to be one heck of a fun random.
Wow.
I can tell you that.
I haven't heard her name in a really long time.
All right. Greatest.
Kevin? Kevin jumped in.
Alundra Blaze, Jericho, Austin to 50. This is 11 of 50.
Wow.
Greatest rib you ever pulled on anybody that wasn't me.
Greatest rib that I pulled. Oh man, Matt, you were the butt of a lot of my ribs. I don't have the greatest rib, man. I'd like to tell a rib that I did to you though. Now that you brought it up,
Shawn Michaels.
Ooh, there you
3
go.
of 299 T-shirt.
Matt and I, when we were younger, we traveled quite a bit together, and some of these road trips were long. And you'd have to go to the bathroom, stop someplace to go to the bathroom. So Matt and I would, as soon as the car was put in park, him and I would run and try to beat one another to the bathroom so we could use the bathroom. And to be honest with you, stink it up before the other buddy comes in there just because it's funny. Well, in this one particular time, I got in there before Matt, and I did my business, but what I didn't tell him was that I took soap and I wiped it all over the seat. So when I knew that he had to go to the bathroom really bad, Matt would rush in and sat on said seat, and you hear whoop, and you hear some few cuss words come out of his mouth, and him cuss me.
Oh man,
That's
I wish that wasn't a true story. 85 of 99. I remember yelling at you and kicking you out of my house one time because I accidentally drank your chew spit.
Oh yeah. My kids have been the rough end of that one too. I can tell you a John Cena, Lance Cade, Marty Elias referee story.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, we're in Mexico, and John used to at the time like to sit down and drink and have beers, and that's,
There you go, Harley Race.
Harley Race.
That is 30 of 50.
John could put the beer away. So we're in Mexico one night, and we'd go out and we'd have beers with John. Every once in a while, we kept people off of him. We had a good time. We just got along really well. Unbeknownst to me, John's downstairs, and once I'm gonna stop for a minute.
59 of 99, Alundra
Ooh,
Blaze, and this is
those
the
are the best.
Cruiserweight Championship.
Wow.
WCW Cruiserweight Champion. That's awesome. Go ahead.
What I didn't know happened to me was John wanted me and Lance to come down and drink with him. Instead, though, he sent a referee up to Lance's room first. Well, Lance and I had a long day, and so Lance opens up the door, and the referee's standing there, Marty Elias, and he says, "Hey, John Cena says you need to come down here and have drinks with us." And Lance proceeded to tell him to go F off, and I'm going back to sleep. About 15 minutes later, the referee knocks on Lance's door again, and so Lance, he's sleeping in the buff, gets up, grabs his belt, and opens up the door and proceeds to start whooping this referee. I mean, wait, I told you, leave me alone. And sends the referee away. Well, about 20 minutes later, knock, knock, knock on Lance's door again. Well, Lance thinks it's his referee, so he puts on his pants. He's gonna beat the crap out of this referee. Well, as soon as he opens up the door, he gets tackled by Cena. Like, opens up the door, Cena just comes through, spears him. And those two bounce all over the hotel room. Until finally, they stop. And Lance goes, "Well, I'm not going down there without Murdoch." So I'm sleeping. I'm oblivious to all of this. And I get knocked on my door. And as soon as I open up my door, now Cena won't admit to this, he went to spear me. But what he didn't realize was my trainer, my mentor, is the king of the front face lock. And as soon as John sat in for the spear, I shot in the front face lock, spread my legs out, and in the hallway, I've got world champion in a front face lock, locking him down in my underwear, going, "What are you doing in my room?" And finally, he tapped out to me and said, "Trevor, I just want you to come down and drink. Just come down and have some drinks." I said, "Okay." I said, "There's none of this." I cussed him a few times. "What the hell are you doing?" But I made the world champ, tap out.
Oh, awesome.
Look at that. Ken Shamrock.
118
right?
of 199. Ken Shamrock.
Kevin just got one for my son.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kevin.
Watson Collectibles just chimed in.
Good deal. Poor Cena.
Yeah.
So,
I front face locked him, and he went
Kendrick?
down.
Can you tell the Kendrick story? With Cena?
I don't remember.
Pissing on him?
Oh.
It's all right. We don't have to.
No,
go
no,
there.
no. I can tell that story.
All right.
All right. So I think we're in Portugal or something.
Here's an Edge to 299 shirt relic.
See, Matt remembers more of the stories than I do. We're in Portugal, and we're upstairs, and we've had some beverages, and we're all having a good time. It's me, Lance Cade, Sheldon Benjamin, Brian Kendrick, Paul London. We're having fun. And, Cena was, a really good guy, but, everybody, he was the world champ, money guy, top guy. He tended to get, some of the guys would rib him a little bit. Well, one of the guys made the suggestion that it'd be cool, it'd be funny to piss out the window. What we didn't know, though, was down below was John Cena, a member of some band, like
Survivor or something?
Survivor.
Chicago?
Yeah, it was one of those. It was Survivor of Chicago. Like several band members were there, same hotel as we were. And Kendrick, little guy, hop on.
Boogeyman 8 of 10.
Kendrick, hey, little fella, wiggles his way up into the frame of the window and pulls out his business and starts peeing. Well, we start hearing people, what is this? What the hell is going on? Is this? And we didn't pay attention to who was below us. And, of course, we yanked Kendrick out of the window, turn off all the lights because Cena and these guys are coming upstairs to find out who basically peed on them out the window. Man, I forgot all about that.
Did he ever find out?
No, never found out. We never broke kayfabe on it.
Sorry, Cena.
Until he watches this.
Yeah, until he watches
13
this.
of 25. WCW Championship. Bret Hart.
like
Another Bret Hart.
Seventh.
Seven?
Bret Hart, right?
7,
Seventh
8.
or-
In wrestling, that's 17. Gorilla Monsoon. He's 40 feet in the air. All right. Give me just a second here. I've run out of the appropriately sized top loaders, so
What a break, dude.
this has been a blast, guys. Thank you guys for joining, Trevor.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for your help. Harley, Leland, appreciate you guys.
Very much.
Oh, no, I didn't. Thank you. Good catch.
Perfect. Shango. DDP.
Bret Hart. Gosh. We had a few beverages one night, and I told him that I thought the screw job was all a big put on.
How,
You remember that?
I don't remember that.
That was the night before the Maryland Heights show where you worked with Jarrett.
You told him it was. You thought it was all the work.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was cool about it. He's like, well,
I made
Back when
money.
a lot of people
I can understand. What's that?
That was back before a lot of people doubted it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
What year was that?
02.
Okay, so
This was like 2 weeks before his stroke, and he was cool though. Like even the next day, I heard some of the stuff that I had said to him when I started getting liquefied, and he was nice about it the whole time. I mean, he's like, oh man, yeah, I know, it was cool to see Harley get somebody else there. I was there a lot of times like that when I was young, so don't feel bad. Hey, thank you, Cody. I appreciate that. Thanks, Travis. Yeah, guys, this is a lot of fun. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. You guys that join my breaks often know if I can fill it, I'll break it as long as it's something that I'm interested in. I won't break basketball. I won't break hockey because I don't care about them, honestly. And you guys deserve to have somebody breaking stuff that is actually passionate about what they're breaking. So baseball, football, wrestling, absolutely. Nerd stuff like movie memorabilia, stuff like that, I'd probably do that because I'm a nerd. So basketball, hockey, absolutely not. But guys, if we can fill breaks like this, love to do more of them. Neidhart, Triple H, Slaughter, Guerrero, Virgil.
I just want to say hello to Heather Malberg, Miss Natural. She's on watching us. She's one of the female wrestlers that started a couple years after WLW started, and she was one of the only females we had at the time, which means that she got trained with the guys, and she could hit you as hard as the guys. And sometimes it got her in trouble with other females because she was used to working with us so much that she was tend to be stiffer with the females. But thank you for watching, Heather. It's good to see you.
Oh, nice. Once again, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, 16 of 25.
That's the third one we've seen tonight.
Yep. I actually was down in my basement the other day looking for some books for my kid. He's decided he wanted to start reading some books that I just happened to have. And while I was looking for them, I found a magazine that Steamboat had signed. So I was always too cool to go up to a star and be like, hey, will you sign this for me, guy? So I had my kid do it, like a courageous man. But it's the 1989, I think it was June 1989, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, where he's on the cover with the NWA World Heavyweight title. And that magazine, was my favorite magazine of all time. Found one on eBay and got it signed. Just ran across it again the other day.
Travis, being a varsity coach, my kids are going to love when I tell them what I get tonight. Right on. My boy actually just started amateur wrestling. This is his first year. What do we got here?
Ted DiBiase.
What is that?
I think it's a piece of the T-shirt, maybe.
Yeah.
196 of 299. Sags and Luger. Heather Malberg.
There's some stories there, too.
What's green and smells like cheap beer? It's natural.
We can say this stuff now because she's not in the room to hit us.
Yeah. She's aged a little bit better than us. Probably drop me right now. So there was a guy that wrestled for us, went on to an unsuccessful MMA career. And
I know who you're talking about.
And he had a little hiatus away from the business, and then got in the ring with Miss Natural. And this is after a few of us had gone to Japan and came back and brought that style back with us.
Yep.
He got in the ring. She threw one forearm to him, and he was looking for the exit.
Literally
eyes rolled back. Yeah. Eyes rolled back in his head. Tears welled up in his eyes. And once again, the Boogeyman.
Oh wow.
145, 199. Did you ever work with Boogeyman?
I did. I never worked with Boogeyman. I actually spent a lot of my off time was with Boogeyman because him and Big Vis were close, and I was really close with Big Vis. It was Boogeyman, Big Vis, and Mark Henry. All three of them, and I hope my wife doesn't get hot at me. They took me to my first black strip club, and that was a lot of fun. You've never walked into a room and a whole room just stop, music stop, turn and look at you.
Oh, look at that.
Tully Blanchard.
2 of 25. I didn't even know they had autos of Tullys in here. 2 of 25 autographed shirt relic.
Patrick Reed T, did you ever wrestle with Vader? I did actually. I tagged with Vader in Japan quite a bit. I've got more bad stories than good stories about that guy, so I really don't want to sit here and bury him.
Harley, rude.
But, hopefully, things are going well for him, and I hope it goes well.
July 89, thanks. That's my wife. I did leave that out in the living room, didn't I? July 89 issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Rotundo blue. This is 9 of 50. Same.
Yeah, Matt's worked with Vader as well in Japan too, and there's just I just don't have enough good to say about him to say anything.
Yeah.
Haku, Jericho, Luger, Bodog. Oh man. We got one more box, folks.
Yep. Last box. This is last call. Anybody else wanting a spot? I don't even know if we have any left. Let me grab this real fast.
Yeah, I stole Matt's phone to look at all your guys' comments.
Guys, I'm just refreshing to see what our inventory level is. Oh, that was a good question.
What?
Worst wrestler you worked with?
Oh, man, the worst. Okay, I'm not going to – they're independent wrestlers. I'm not going to say their names because I don't feel like I don't want to bury those guys. But I can tell you the situations I was caught in with them to explain to you why I think they're the worst wrestlers I've ever been in the ring with.
There you go.
I worked a show one time, and I won't even say the areas. This guy will probably know. And I got in the ring, and I started calling out the match to him, and I told him in the back, just listen to me, but when I tell you it's time, take over. And I got in the ring, and I started telling this guy what to do. And I said, I told him it was time for his offense, and he did nothing. So I just continued to beat him up. And then I said, it's time, I told him, do this to me. And he wouldn't do it. And the guy was so scared and starstruck, or I guess, or whatever, but he wouldn't do anything. So literally, I spent the next 15 minutes beating this guy up, and then beat him, which does nothing for the story. Who did I beat? I beat nobody. I'm trying to think who else was the other. The other guy was just, I'll tell you the situation more than anything. I told the guys, listen to me out there. I'll tell you what to do. And we were about 5 minutes into the match, and I body slammed him, and I went for a cover, and he didn't kick out.
It's Tonica to 199.
He didn't kick out from the body slam, and I got in the back, and I said, why didn't you kick out? He goes, because you didn't tell me to. I thought it was implied, bud, because it wasn't the finish. I know I'm breaking kayfabe, and if Harley was right here, he'd probably have already punched me.
All
Am
right.
I behind on the questions? No.
Here, the toughest part of working in Japan is finding a place to eat. Is that true?
No, I disagree with that. I mean, you got when you get to Japan, you've got to be more open and accepting to their customs and their food. But it's all the same stuff. It's just, it's got a different flavor to it. What do we got here?
Lesnar.
Ooh, Brock
$235.
Lesnar.
$299.
I went to Japan and I stayed there for 6 months, and I lived in their dojo and worked over there and wrestled in tours. And it didn't take me long to find out what I liked and what I didn't like. There's not too much difference between noodles, rice, beef, pork, chicken. It's just, you got to have an open mind.
I, on the other hand, am a very, very picky eater. So it was a challenge for me. Steak and rice was always a safe bet, and I liked beef curry with rice.
It came out the backside, though, just as quickly as it went in the front.
So we stopped at a truck stop, or tour bus, and they had a thing called beef tan. I give it a shot. Tasted awesome. It was amazing. And Juventud Guerrero was on the tour with me, and he came up and he said, "Man, you're a picky eater. You're eating beef tongue?" And I was like, "Yeah, beef tongue." He said, and he has a heavy Hispanic accent. He said, "Beef tongue." And I just got the visual of me tongue kissing a cow. Didn't matter how good it tasted. That was it. It was beef curry or steak and rice every time after that. Oh my!
Goldberg, wow.
40 of 50, Goldberg.
That's another good one.
Guys, we've hit, aside from a cut auto, Randy Savage 1 of 1. Feel free to have that one of these packs. But aside from that, we've hit all the big stuff, I believe, that's available in this. I mean, Flair, Michaels, tons of Bret, Triple H, Stephanie, Undertaker. This has been an amazing 3 cases.
It has. Dave Watson, who's the biggest celebrity you got to meet outside the business? He's currently running the country right now, the President of the United States.
35 of 50.
I don't know if you can really get any bigger than that. And that isn't an opening for political comments, statements, or digs. I'm just saying that's who I met.
Yeah, bar rules here. No politics.
Yeah, no politics.
Yeah. That's the awesome thing about breaks. You get away from that crap.
Yeah, what do we got
50
here?
of 50.
Is that Chris Jericho?
Jericho, undisputed champion.
That's number 3 for tonight, man.
Was that just a quick meeting, or did you get to interact with him?
I got to talk to him a little bit when he was in. That was the match he had for with Vince on Mania. He had a lot of people surrounding him, a lot of good-looking women surrounding him, but he just had an entourage, not of just his people, but also WWE people that kept an eye on him. Not to mention they kind of kept him back into the space. When he came out to catering, I got to talk to him for about 5 or 10 minutes and just interact with him, not about anything particular, just, hey, how you doing?
Pretty social?
Extremely social. I can tell that this is the only thing I'm going to talk about politics. I can tell there's a difference from the guy that you see on TV to the real individual, who the real human being is. And I think that gets lost in translation a lot. But that's my personal opinion. I don't want to hear no more about it.
And Harley, last one of the break.
That's so fitting
Look at
that
that.
Harley Race is the last card of this break.
All right, guys, that was a blast. I have some updating to do here, and
Do I need to keep the troops entertained?
yeah,
You got to come up with some more material for me to talk about.
some more material.
Man,
Let's see. Wasn't there a referee that got put on a luggage cart, like a bellhop's cart?
Oh, yes. I forgot all about that too. Marty
How
Elias,
could you forget that?
currently a referee for Lucha Underground. He was giving us a hard time about something, and he was Marty. Number one, let me give Bill a backstory. Marty Elias is my favorite referee. Maya Lance's favorite referee. Fantastic referee, extremely talented, extremely easy to work with. but he was giving us a hard time. So me and Lance finally got tired of it, and him and I stripped this referee buck naked, hog-tied his hands and feet together, and threw him onto a luggage cart and rolled him out the door of the hotel room out into the lobby and out to the street. And this poor referee's got his hands and feet tied together. He can't do nothing about it with his giblets just hanging out in between his legs. Oh, man, I forgot all about that, man.
Yeah.
My goodness. Let's see. There was, I can go into the story. I don't know how many guys want to hear it about me getting arrested in Belfast, Ireland.
That's a good story.
It's a good story?
That's worth telling.
Okay.
Clean. as long as
it's clean.
Orton's cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah. It's all cleaned up. The ritual when you go onto an overseas trip is to drink yourself silly until you get so hammered that you get on the plane, pass out, and fly home for the 14, 15, 18 hours, whatever. We're down to 25 people listening to this story. And so, because when you're on an overseas tour, you wrestle every single day except the day you fly over and the day you fly home. So if it's a 19-day tour, you're wrestling 19 days straight. So we all go down to the hotel lobby, and we're all having drinks and having a good time. It's me, Randy Orton sitting next to me on my right, Lance, my tag partner, sitting in front of me, and Arn Anderson is sitting to my left. It's 4 chairs, and we're around a square table. And we're in the hotel bar having a good time. No one's bothering us. And a fan comes up to Randy and goes, "Hey, Randy, can you sign this?" And we all kind of, okay, all right, kind of back up a little bit. Randy, sometimes, he'd get aggravated if fans were bothering him in his personal time. But Randy signed it, no problem, handed it back to the guy. And the guy said, "Randy, can you sign this too?" And Randy said, "No, man, I'm hanging out with my friends. Will you leave me alone?" Well, the guy turns belligerent on Randy and starts cussing him, saying, "You think you're too good? We pay we pay your salary. You owe us this, that, and the other." Just really being an obnoxious jerk in front of everybody. So Randy stands up and looks for security, finds security, yells for security, and says, "Hey, can you get this guy out of here? He's trying to grab my junk." So of course security comes running over, grabs the guy, takes him out, and we go back to talking, and we're drinking, having a good time, picking Arn's brain, just talking about old school wrestling. And sure enough, this guy comes back and asks Randy for another autograph. And Randy said, "Listen, man, I've already signed something for you. I'm trying to have a good time with my friends. Just please leave me alone." And he used that exact verb. He just, "Please leave me alone." And the guy would not stop. Immediately started berating Randy, just being a jerk to him. So this time Randy stands up and says, "Hey, security, this guy, he got a handful this time. He actually grabbed my," and I don't want to use the verbiage, but he grabbed my junk. So the referee says, "Oh, we'll get him out of here. We'll get him out of the hotel." Or the referee, the security says, "We'll get him out of here. We'll get him out of the hotel." And so we don't think nothing of it. We're enjoying ourselves, and it's about 3:30 in the morning, and the bar's closing down. And as we walk out, Lance is talking to Layla, a WWE diva, and he's 2 people in front of me. Randy's behind him, and I'm behind Randy. And we're walking into this hotel lobby. What we don't know is that all these people that are in the lobby with us are part of an Irish wedding reception. And the gentleman that Randy got kicked out on 2 different occasions, was a part of said wedding reception. So as we're walking out through the lobby in this little bit of a train, what no one knows is 3 days before that, Randy was world champion. He was world champion at the time. 3 days before that, though, he had gotten hurt and couldn't even bend over to tie his own boots up. The trainers actually had to tie his boots up for him for the shows. But as we're walking out, this guy that originally got kicked out comes around the customer service desk, the front desk, and starts charging at Randy, and was gonna drop him, either spear him or punch him. And Orton turns around and catches the guy in mid-stride, and he goes, "Murdoch!" And I'm inebriated. He's my world champ at the time, so I step in and I just drop the guy. He goes down like a ton of bricks. Well, another guy comes up and says, "Hey," and starts taking off his jacket. Well, by the time he got his jacket down by his arms, I punch him, boom, drop him. Again, at the time though, I did not know that everybody in the reception area is part of this Irish wedding reception. So now I've got about 15 to 20 guys that are starting to take off their jackets. And I am in the middle of this half moon circle. And I put up my dukes and go, oh boy, this one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna be bad. And these boys are ready, they're gonna thump me. Well, my tag partner finally realizes what's going on and turns around and starts running. I mean, as hard as he can. And these poor boys had no idea what was coming because they had their backs to him looking at me. Well, Lance just lowers his head and breaks a hole right through these guys. There's like 4 of them. They do the whole slow motion Dukes of Hazzard, onto the floor. When he comes through, Lance grabs me by the back of my pants and shirt and literally throws me through this hole of guys. And just like a movie, I stop, I slide a little bit, I get up to my feet, and him and I run to the elevator. And as the elevator is closing, I swear to God, you couldn't have planned it any better if you was in a movie. Just the people are running to the door, and they get right to the door and close it. Well, Lance and I think this is over with. We're done. The situation's over with. We go up to our rooms. We're putting our stuff in our bags, and about 20 minutes later, we look out the window and we see ambulances coming down the main road, cop cars coming down the main road, another ambulance, another cop car. And me and Lance look at each other and we're like, surely that's not for anything we did. That must be going somewhere else. Well, about 10 minutes later, our phone rings. Now, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. We just got into a fist fight, and now my hotel phone is ringing. That's not good. So I pick up the the phone, and it's Arn Anderson. Trevor, you need to get that dumb tag team partner here. Get your asses down here. You boys are going to jail. What? Of course, I play like a complete idiot. Arn, what's going on? What are you talking about? Trevor, you ain't an idiot. You know what yins did. Get your ass down here. So me and Lance walk downstairs, and unbeknownst to us, the first guy that I punched and dropped was getting up on all 4, and our security guard that should have been watching us at the time was talking to some lady, and finally realized what's going on, and he takes a 10-step punt, and he punts this guy in the face, and he comes up and comes down. Now, in any other time, that would have been no problem, and I'm going to bring this up, and this is the situation. I'm not being rude. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm certainly not being racist, but this was the situation. The security guard was a black guy. Now, in Belfast, Ireland, to this day, they are still having religious wars, Protestant and Catholic wars. Black people aren't regarded high there, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what the situation was. And so we get downstairs, unbeknownst to us, the security guard has knocked out one of the Irish guys, and they put us in a paddy wagon, put the security guard in a paddy wagon, and we go down to the police station. Well, Lance and I walk into the police station. They walk the security guard in first, walk him right back to a jail cell, close the door on the jail cell, and leave him in there. They walk me and Lance into the other room, start taking pictures with us, bringing us coffee, apologizing to us that they had to bring us there. So, lo and behold, we were able to get out of there just in time to get back to the hotel while all the boys are loading up onto the bus to leave, to go home, back to the United States. Get all our stuff, get on the bus, and go home. At the time, though, we were World Tag Team Champions. And we thought, man, Vince is going to fire us. We got arrested in another country. We're going to take our belts. So me and Lance had just decided, you know what? If Vince wants these belts, he's going to have to come to our house and get them. We were mad. We were defending the world champion. We shouldn't have gotten in trouble. And we didn't get in trouble. So we go to Raw the next day, and we decide, you know what? If they're going to fire us, we're not going to wait around for it. We're going to go talk to Vince right now. So Lance and I go track down Vince, and Vince is in the auditorium, and we go up to him. He's all by himself one of the few times. And we go up to him and go, Vince, this is what happened, and this is what we did. And we explain the whole thing to him, and again, there's this long pause. He pulls down his glasses, and he goes, you know what? Don't worry about it, boys. It's good for the fans to get their asses kicked every once in a while. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. You never know. I might have done worse if I was there. And me and Lance took our tag belts and walked away because we knew we had won. All right, let's just leave it at that. That's the time I got arrested in Belfast, Iowa.
All right, guys. I've updated the list. So, excuse me. There are a total of 60 spots that were filled out of 98. So that means there are going to be 38 unfilled spots. Hey, 60 is awesome for this first break. So we're going to do this just straight random. So again, if I get anything, it'll just go on the eBay store to, I guess fill in the spots for the cost of the break and stuff like that. And but anyways, so I would much rather you guys get them, but we're going to do that straight and fair. We might actually find something, and I'm going to go back through the comments. I know somebody, a little bit, Pete, but I'm going to go back through the comments because I know that there was one person that was maybe looking for some of them. So let me pull up a couple things here. So first we have what is usually our scoreboard. And it is right here. So a total of 60 spots. And I updated those based off of what was showing on the website. And we also had some that were for sale on eBay before that. But anyway, so let's do this random. We have the hits here just off to the side. And so I've entered every one of those in. I've copied and pasted. If there are any mistakes, I'll make it right. I mean, doing this live, trying to enter in a total of 98 hits. There's always that chance that there was a mistake. So hopefully that's not the case. But now I'm going to pull up random.org. All right, and I just want to hit a couple key points here. So here are all of the names in order of how the orders came through. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Like I said, I'm showing 38 spots remaining, and we had a total of 98. So that should be 60 spots that were filled, which is matching up with the spreadsheet. Here are all of the hits. I just want to go through this. I'm not going to hit every one of them. I just want to show you some of the key autos just so you can see. We've got Sting there, ton of Bretts.
Leland Race. Norman Smiley, please.
Let's see, there's just scrolling down here. Foley, Michaels. We didn't get to triple Foley. There we go. There's something for me to be disgruntled about. There's Michaels. Just trying to find the biggest ones here. There's Undertaker.
That was a huge card, right?
Yeah, it was. And here's Triple H, Stephanie to 10. So this is 100% random.
Does the Triple H and Stephanie goes in random as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Every single hit, every card pulled out of here that's an auto or a relic. And then also, just to give you kind of some perspective here of what the other ones mean, this is our numbered parallels, and there are going to be more. I know some of them slip through the cracks, but that's how many we have that came out of those cases that I found right away. After a while, we started taking a lot longer than I expected. We have to keep this under 4 hours, especially since I told the fine folks here at the Harley Race Wrestling Arena that it would probably be probably about 2 hours. So
it might ignore me talking anything.
So here we go. We're going to roll the dice. This is going to tell us how many times to randomize. And let me verify, yes, that is showing up on the screen. We will randomize 5 times, and we're going to start off with the names. All of the unfilled spots are shown in here as unfilled. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So unfilled at top, and we randomized 5 times. So now what we do is copy the list. Whoop, hang on. All right, we copy the list. And make this visible again.
Dave Watson, 5-star isn't 2 hours. Yeah, hell, 2 hours. Matt, you should know you're to do double.
Yeah, dude, I'm the slowest breaker.
Well, and that's a lot of it's my fault too. I don't know when to shut up.
Well,
Oh, my wife's watching again. We gotta be nice. Back to behaving ourselves.
I do that during the breaks anyways. Like I'm the slowest breaker of any product. And the reason is because I believe that, like for me, it's just a lot better to take my time and show every card. And I'm going to expand this here in just a minute, guys. So just bear with me for a minute.
My wife's watching, kids watching. Hello. If Cade's still up, he needs to get to bed. I love you, Cato Potato. That's the newest baby at the house.
All right. We're going to do that, and we'll enter in another column here.
I'll be home soon, baby.
All right, next up. Let me verify that I got that in there. Okay. Next up, we are going to do all of the hits. Once again, here's that Triple H Stephanie. Good luck on that, everybody. 5 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and good luck. There's 5. Albert to 99 at top. Tatanka to 199 at the bottom. All right, so let's go through the list here and see who got what. All right, let me save this just to be safe. Unfilled, Albert, Otto, Hart Relic, Dave Watson, Gold Dust, Ray Rodriguez, Triple H and Stephanie. Ray, congrats, man. That is awesome.
Wow.
Finley, Otto, Edge Relic, and Nash Relic, unfilled. Brady, DiBiase to 299. Kara, Michaels Auto to 199. There you go. From right there in the home state of Texas. Jason Powell, Tatanka to 199. Sid to 199. DDP Relic Auto to 50 are going to unfilled. Jericho Belt, 99 of 99. Belt Auto going to David. Marcos gets a Luger Auto to 99. Big Show Relic Auto to 25, unfilled. Tully Relic to Dana. Undertaker, that is going to Kara.
Wow.
There you go, Kara. Nice hit. Jericho Belt Auto, 50 of 50, going to Travis. Ray gets a Nash Auto to 199. DDP unfilled. Kane Auto going to Cody. Ray gets Road Dogg Relic to 299. Wendy Richter Auto to 199, unfilled. Booker T Auto to 199 to Pat. Bret Hart Belt Auto to 25, going to Cody. Congrats, Cody. Hacksaw Auto, unfilled. Nash Relic to 299, going to Diego. Sid Auto to 99, going to unfilled. David Gold Dust Auto to 199. Brady Valentine to 99. Blaze Belt Auto, going to unfilled. Dave Slaughter Auto to 199, unfilled. Nash Auto to 199, and Bret Hart Belt Auto to 25. Sid Auto to 199, going to Dave. Luger Auto to 25, going unfilled. DDP Auto to 299, going to William. HBK Relic to 299, going to unfilled. Steamboat to 299, Relic, going to Dave, along with the DiBiase Auto to 199. And autos, Michaels, Foley Relic Auto to 25, all going to unfilled. Lundra Blaze Belt Auto to 99, going to Cody. All base, going to unfilled. Yeah. Guys, I don't have room for that. Come on. Duggan Auto, going to Dave. Chic Relic, going to Kara. Luger Relic to 299, going to Cody. Jericho Belt Auto to 50, going to Cody. Ray gets the Lundra Blaze Auto to 50. Sting Relic to 299, going to William. Blanchard Relic to 299, unfilled. Shamrock Auto to 199 to Travis. David Bret Hart Auto to 50. Ellering Auto to 199, unfilled. DDP Relic Auto and JB Belt Auto going to Kara. William Tatanka Auto to 50. Bret Hart Belt Auto to 99, going to unfilled. Dave Watson gets a Sting Relic Auto to 50. That's an awesome card. Boogeyman Auto to 10, going to Jason Powell. Blanchard Relic Auto going to Marcos. That's an awesome one. Number to 25. Blaze Auto to 199. Albert Beefcake to 25, all unfilled. Neidhard Belt Auto going to Kara. Pat Flair Belt Auto to 99. Congrats, Pat. Big Show Relic to 299, going to Travis. Foley to 99 auto. unfilled. Steamboat auto to 99 going to Travis. Michael Hayes auto to 199, unfilled. Finley auto to 99 going to Pete. All parallels going to unfilled. Hart auto to 199, that is unfilled. Blaze auto to 199 going to Dave. Steamboat auto to 199, unfilled. All right, sorry guys, I was watching one of those on eBay, so it's pretty exciting to me. Steamboat auto to 25 going to David. Kessa gets HBK Relic to 299. Unfilled gets Michaels auto to 50 and Road Dog Belt auto to 10. Kessa gets Boogeyman auto to 199. Cody Bret Hart Belt auto to 99. Smiley auto to 25 going to Dave. Goldberg auto 40 to 50 going to unfilled. Kara Edge auto number to 10. Congrats on that. Tatanka Plate auto 1 of 1 going to unfilled. Bret Hart Belt auto to 50 going to Kara. Edge auto to 50 going to Brady. Foley Relic to 299 unfilled. Lesnar Relic to 299 Dave. Cody JBL Belt auto to 99. Booker T Belt auto to 99 unfilled. IRS auto to 199 Marcos. Cody Sting auto to 199. Congrats on that. Slaughter auto to 199 going to Kevin. David Luger auto to 199. Cody Kevin Nash 199 of 50. Okay, so whatever a Kevin Nash 199 of 50 is, that's all you, Cody. And Tatanka auto to 199.
They even said take a breather.
Oh, did I breathe during that time?
I'm not sure.
All right, guys. So I will copy and paste that on the comments. I'll pin the post to the top. Thank you all for joining. Trevor, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been a blast.
Mike, Hunter, thank you guys for your help.
Yes.
Everybody, thanks for joining. This was awesome. This was a successful first break. And once again, Kara with the Undertaker auto and Ray Rodriguez, Triple H Stephanie. 1 of 10.
Wow.
Look at that.
Amazing.
I can't even see the screen there. Was I showing that correctly?
I'm not sure. It's coming up.
All right. Well, I don't want to wait for the delay. There we go. Look at that. Oh,
It's about to show up, I think.
there we go.
Here it is. Let's see if you showed it. Showed it right. Yeah, there you go.
Ish. Right-ish. All right, guys. Thank you. This has been awesome. Harley Race Wrestling Academy, Arena, Leland Race, World League Wrestling. Thank you, guys. And thanks for joining. Be sure to follow us on Facebook or like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. And check out cardboardtreasures.com. Maybe there's some stuff coming up that you're interested in. Thank you, guys, and have a good rest of the weekend. 1 second here.